More fucking dwarves.
Especially you tall bastards. Anyway,
Yeah,
it is time for another
dwarves. Next
session
week I get
of
2 tokens.
Dungeons and Dragons Rescue near Raxis. Last time, does anyone want to give a recap?
We failed to kill a necromancer.
There was a pool of dead things. She
We
kind of
didn't-
sat in it. It was kind of gross.
We didn't get blown up.
Oh yeah, and nobody died. Yeah, that's the important part.
The bodies
people-
hit the floor, but we brought him back up.
I didn't even have to make a death save. It was fine.
The pup did.
I know. The goodest boy went down.
He's still alive. Still fucking alive. Anyway. So yes, the necromancer got away. She introduced herself and then fucked away off, because you were doing quite well. And then, out of the sludge, came the boat axe. Creatures are very nasty on life.
They stared at me and I fell over.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I had fun today when I looked at your sheet and saw 1 HP. That's good, I like that.
I've become the Melgurn. The very thing I sought to destroy.
Let's reveal the last door. So yes, you were in the hall. You were in the Chamber of Bone. There is still that noxious pit of dead fluids, writhing and gyrating inside there in the recess. But the corpses are dead. They are unmoving. You have a moment to catch your breath and realize, whew, all of us are still here. That's nice. And you can see further ahead there is another chamber.
I think we need to rest up a little bit, because I don't think we're good to go exploring.
I've still got 1 hit point. We're fine.
Well, Mr. Pufflesworth isn't, so.
Bum.
So, what do you do?
Well, I think we need to at least find out what's behind door number 1. So
All
I'm
right,
going
send the
to.
owlbear first.
No, I was going to. Yeah, could do that too.
No.
Well, I'm going to probably. Oh, where's my stealth figure? Yep, there it is. I'm going to stealth up and slowly and carefully head my way to the door, checking for traps and goodness knows what else.
Alright, you have to roll me investigation as well then.
Oh, there we are. Oh, we were all lined up nicely.
That's just because I had to copy and paste the group.
Ah.
Alright, so you're walking up the stairs. Tell me how you get into the next chamber.
Well, first of all, I have to get to the stairs. Well, staying away from the pit because I'm using a lantern, and pit and lantern might not be a good mix.
It is. Luckily, it's a larger room, so the fumes have gone elsewhere above you, as opposed to the previous chamber, which was much more compact. You also do notice that there's still that gleaming bone dagger on the Deathlock's body.
Deathlock, deathlock.
Well, I'll go check it out.
Yep. Well, I'm
Yep,
just going to zip up this way and just keep going up until I get to the door.
It feels a little strange to be clambering up onto something that was definitely humanoid bone. Every step you take, you can just hear that clatter against the soles of your boots. These were people. Every single one of these bones is from a person.
Okay, I'm going to have a very good and close look at the door to make sure that at least nothing mechanical that can get me.
If you want to take a specific look at it, you can roll investigation if you want. I'm happy to use that 11 though.
Died.
Yeah, probably a death curse or something that's going to get me.
Welcome to the Antioch Guild Maze. I am your host.
There is this unsettling moment as you draw closer and try to get a good view of it. The door frame is huge and lined with skulls, because they don't really make good flooring. And as you're staring at them to check for any mechanisms, any kind of arcane flicker, you just get that shiver up your spine. But While you're looking at them, they could be looking right back at you, especially with the shadows cast by your lantern. But from what you can
Yeah.
tell, it just seems decorative. It's just unsettling looking death in the face.
Too many skulls.
There's no door in the
Okay.
way, but there is just a sheet of what we can easily surmise is just a chunk of tent that's been hung up.
In that case, I'm just going to slightly poke at it with my sword.
The material ruffles. It shifts against you. There's
Behaves
nothing.
like-
Doesn't feel like there's anything behind it. No resistance.
and it behaves like cloth.
It behaves like cloth. It doesn't bleed.
I use my sword to slowly move the cloth out of the way to see what's past the door.
As you step inside, you can see. I don't have this as a map tile. It's just another small crypt chamber. There is a tomb on your left, but it's already been opened up and has actually been cleared out and used. As you rise up on your toes to get a better look over, there's a small bed in there. There's also what looks like a couple of planks propped up as a desk. Several papers and a journal on it. You can also see on the bed itself a heap of what you assume would be her personal effects. And then directly in front of you, so all that's on the left side, but directly in front of you is a more familiar stone carving of a door frame, and just a path leading further down.
Oh, wonderful. There's more floors.
You also, I'll let your investigation still run, so as you're looking around, you can see the stone is old and weathered, but you can see where you're standing right now in the main path, it has been worn down a great deal. There's been heavy traffic to and from. And you do make out the unmistakable prints that almost ran over you of Minotaur skeleton hoofs.
Great, more of them. I'm going to shout, seeing as I haven't spotted any traps, I'm shout back. The way that I came is clear, if you want to come up. Probably echoes quite nicely.
The way that I came, the way that I came.
It is absolutely silent apart from your own breathings and what you say. Every little scrape of buckle and lever sounding out along the echoing chamber. Strange thing is, for all the silence, it also doesn't. The ambience isn't including the sloshing of the fluids. They seem to be silent, despite how much they move.
Oh, great, they're still moving. Well, first things first, I'm going to have a look at the bits and pieces on the desk.
All right, as you have a glance, you can see that there is a liver-bound book. You can also see there's two glass bottles filled with a crimson liquid that pulses with a dull light to it. You can see, let's see here, yeah. On the floor beside them, there's also 3 empty glass bottles. They're all different shapes, though. And of the papers, you can see there's actually 4. You do remember you've seen stuff like this before from some of the looting previously. These do look like arcane scrolls of all. They're of the paper quality, but only one actually has writing on it and symbols.
In that case, I at least grab that one, and I would say give it to Cornelius, but he seems to be gone upstairs.
Yeah, Cornelius just proclaimed that he is tired of this filth, of this stench, and just asked Droop to go with him. I will keep the entrance clear.
Good, because we'll need you.
In that case, I'm going to put that particular scroll into the shared treasury.
Yep. And there's also free blank scrolls. You also see as you... Do you touch the journal yet? Or do you inspect her effects?
I don't know, does he?
I'm going to have at least look at the. I'm not going to touch it. I'm just going to see what's on it, as such, in the respect of any writing or what it might be made of.
The lettering is etched in slightly. A little bit of gold filigree. Do you speak Elven? Or do you read Elven?
I'll just check. Let's see. Goblin. Yeah, I have Elven.
Yep. It says in very flowery script, treasured recollections.
Okay, I at least open it up to the couple of the first few pages.
Alright. There doesn't seem to be anything mystical or arcane about it. You just notice that... Oh, actually, I meant to say this here. I forgot about this simple description, but the journal itself is actually kind of hollow. About 2/3 of the pages have been ripped out. But when you open it up, you do see the first journal. There we go.
I'm sorry, I was reading Mr. Puffleworth's description in the list of characters. I'm surprised there's no droop there.
Oh yeah, I haven't made his sheet visible. But yes, there's the Necromancer's Journal.
Hmm.
Can you all see it?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
10-4.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can sit back while someone does dramatic reading. Alternatively, you can just keep searching stuff and deal with this later.
I'll deal with it later. I'm just making sure that it's not going to bite me.
No, it looks for all purposes an actual journal. Quite weathered, a little bit old, but decent quality. You do find 2 gold coins underneath it when you shift it.
Okay, that goes into the treasury.
Do I need to update that? Someone
I'm
else got it.
updating it.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone can edit it.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't know if anybody else was going for it.
Yeah, I've added the scroll, the 3 blank scrolls in the Necromancer's journal into the thing, so we know that they're there. Let's see, what else? What other stuff have we got to look at? Something about personal effects, wasn't there?
Yeah, as you may have noticed, there is a pile of clothing on the bedding. There's also what looks like a simple black wooden wand.
Wooden wand. Okay, carefully pick that up. And seeing as we've got nobody to identify it at the moment,
How do you pick it up?
wrap it. Using. I'm going to see if she's got at least something that I can use, like a cloth or something, like a shirt, and wrap it up without touching it, and put it into the storage.
It takes a little second just to look through, just to glance at the pile, because it's all uniform black, so it all blends together. But you can see that there's a distinct skirt. There seems to be a crumpled bodice underneath it, and there's a cloak on top.
Oh, just a cloak.
Wraps up easily enough. The cloak itself seems to be... It's a little strange. It feels coarse to the touch, but it looks very fine. It looks like delicate silks, but it seems to feel just like a heavy cotton.
Oh.
Okay. Interesting. Something to look at later.
For Siegfried, everything is later.
Well, we don't actually have somebody that can tell if they're magical or not. It makes things difficult.
I can tell if things are magical,
It's
probably.
the cloth that eats.
I'll rectify that next. Well,
Clerics do have detect magic, and they can cast it as a ritual spell.
Yeah, learn your class, noob.
Downside, did she wake up with detect magic?
Mm, Oh, hold on, let me check
It's
out. I
almost
think
like
I
your
might
name
have.
is Marisha Ray or something. I mean,
Don't
what?
do that. Don't do that. She's read her spells.
Ooh, ouch. She has no
I
idea what we're
don't
talking
have that.
about.
You can have that. You don't have it yet. It'll take a long rest
what
to
were
get.
listed items again?
Sorry, what would you say?
I remember there being a list of items, and I only caught a couple.
Okay. There are 2 potions. They're filled with a crimson
Alright.
liquid, and they regularly pulse with a dull light, like a heartbeat.
Okay.
3 empty bottles if you want them. 3 blank scrolls, and 1 with a spell on it. 2 gold coins. A journal.
Okay, those. Alright.
Then there's her black wooden wand.
Mm,
A cloak that feels different to the touch. It looks like very fine silk, but it feels like a coarse cotton.
Alright.
Then there's just her clothing. There's sandals, a long skirt, a bodice or corset of a sort. And a shawl.
Pufflesworth.
Don't get meta.
Sorry.
Keep it the one in the game.
Okay. Do we want to take the 2 potions, or are we too afraid to actually find out what they are?
Well, let's not be pansies. Let's take them.
I don't see why we wouldn't.
They're in a bottle. They won't jump out and eat us.
Is
Famous
Rain
last
saying
words.
this in character to him like this?
Mm-hmm.
Let's not be a pansy, Siegfried. As he holds his hand over where he got gored by 2 Minotaur skeletons.
Yeah, take the potion, Siegfried. Stop being a pansy.
I wonder where she kept her food.
That was up a few floors. Remember we found the storage room?
Yep.
True. Oh, that's right. Nothing down here really needs to eat but her.
Yeah, but the problem is this isn't the last floor. Pointing towards the stairs.
Do you think there's another way out down there?
Could be, but the question is, seeing as there seems to be quite a lot of foot traffic, do you want to go down there in the state we're in?
I think if we're going to go anywhere, we might want to rest up a little bit before we go. Just saying, because I can't heal y'all anymore.
Yeah, I suspect we need a long rest just to get spell slots and stuff back.
Well, because I was thinking, if there isn't a way out down there, we just ignite some of that flammable liquid outside and bring the entire crypt down on itself.
That was one plan.
Let's consider that after we've made sure we've got everything that we might want from here.
Yeah, because I don't think we're getting paid for this job.
We are not.
No, we didn't ask about payment.
Well, also we've clearly got effectively a bed chamber here. We could consider trying to rest up here and putting up guards to make sure nothing wants to come bother us.
Just so I can be clear, this wasn't her bedroom and we're not repeating a past mistake, right?
It was her bedroom.
I mean, there's a bed there.
Shit, we're doing it again. It's happening again.
Well,
I
I
was
don't think the
gonna-
necromancer's coming back.
Yeah, true.
Unless she really wants her bodice.
Well,
I mean, if
judging
you-
by the
I mean-
journal, she seems to like this place. So,
The other thing is,
don't get
do
rid
we
of it.
want? Do we really want to sleep here? Because technically we're still in foul-smelling air.
Yeah, are, but thankfully the tarpaulin or the tent helps with that.
Question: can we rest, or are there enemies nearby? because that's how RPGs work, right?
Also, Rain for El Judgmentalist, the bodice is actually kind of good quality. It's just been worn a lot.
Screw it, let's take it.
Sorry, what are we grabbing this time?
The bodice.
Yeah.
A used boob holder.
While they're messing around in there, I'm going to check out the bodies we left outside around the pit and see if any of those have anything more interesting on them besides the dagger.
As you're rifling over them, checking through for any kind of storage, you just notice everything they have is very tattered, worn, and there's just some funereal wrappings, and they don't seem to have anything personal about them. They did have staffs when they were attacking you, but those seem to have just vanished.
So only the shiny bone dagger remains.
Yeah, there's no coin on them. No personal effects.
Okay, I'm going to grab the dagger for later to add to the stash, as it were.
As you pick it up, you notice while it looks like it's just like a sharpened end of a leg bone, it feels properly weighted, which goes against how it looks. It does feel like it's sturdy enough to stab someone.
Oh, excellent.
It's also cold of a touch, which I mean you'd expect, of course, of being bone and held by a corpse, but it's still holding that. It's not warming up as you hold it.
Interesting. I should have to test this out on someone later on.
Oh dear.
As the party
I'll
walks
put it
away, the
in
true monster
somebody's
reveals
back
himself.
like a cold nose.
Sorry.
So, what are we going to do about the stair? Do we want to Do we really want to rest in a room? Because this is probably where, if she's got a teleport way to teleport back, she's probably going to end up in this room with us.
That actually seems like a relatively good thing because then we can obliterate her.
Or she could just obliterate all of us.
She ran away. I doubt she would run away if she didn't think that she was going to lose.
This is true.
I think perhaps a light rest could be managed, but anything longer than that, and we run the risk of more undead just wandering in and saying hello.
Well, I mean, I'm really tired. Just gonna point that out. Really tired.
We need a long rest. So either A, we go up the entrance and rest there, or B, we rest here.
I think it's worth the as long as we have a guard. I think it's worth the risk down here.
Mm-hmm. I'm okay with that.
Looks like down here it is. You may as well get it over and done with.
So you're going to have a long rest?
You almost sound happy.
I'm just asking for clarification.
Yes.
What?
So the party piles into the one bed, apparently.
I'll be the first guard. I'm the first watch.
Yeah, you're gonna need 4 watches. You can pair
I'll
up.
go second.
You can take them solo.
Is it possible for me to just take a short rest and then remain as a guard for a bunch of the shifts? Because I don't particularly need a long rest.
Well, actually, come to think of it, despite how injured you all are, you wouldn't really be in the state for a long rest yet. It's only been about 5 or 6 hours since you woke up. Yeah, let's see, you got here about midday, and then this would all have happened in about 2 to 3 hours.
So what you're saying is we can only have.
Yeah, you'd only.
You disappeared. I didn't hear the rest of that.
I think he's suggesting we can only have a short rest because
Yeah, it's
we
still
haven't-
too
we're not
early,
tired
really.
enough.
I mean, you're tired, but your body just would refuse to go on a full sleep. Otherwise, you're going to wind up on a student schedule and wake up at 1 a.m.
That sounds about normal.
Yeah. It's like welcome to my life.
Well, if you want to, then all right, I'll allow a long rest.
Then my question still stands.
Yes, you can just have a short one if you want.
Very nice. I'm going to. Let's see. I have my.
It does
full
mean that
HP.
everyone who is on watch will be able to pester you, however.
That's fine. I'm going to spend 2 hit dice.
It also means you have a perfect volunteer for reading the entirety of the journal.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll take my 11.
You get your comm mod as well to that.
Oh! That's. Then that's 15. I will gladly take 15.
Yep.
Ah,
It'll actually work if you click the word hit dice on your sheet.
Really?
As long as you're set to the class and all.
I am. Let's see. Let me just text that.
See?
Oh, it does. How nice. I will still take my 15 now because I rolled that. So, very nice. And yes, I've actually already read through most of the journal.
All right.
Yeah, I read through that too.
I mean, you were meant to read it out for benefit of our people. But okay. You know, I just filled in all these words and all. Added a bit of flavor and character, but that's okay. No one's ever appreciated.
The problem is I'd read it in the necromancer's voice.
I mean, you could try if you wanted. She only said a few things. But yes. So, Rain, since you're a first watch, give me a perception check. You can have advantage if Castalia decides to help out.
I still need the 1 hour to actually rest.
Yeah, but she's watching for 2.
Alright, then yeah.
And
I suck.
a short rest is just and a short rest is just it's low activity, you know, it's just sitting down, reading a book, having a snack. I mean, for fuck's sake, the cooking
Okay.
guide says you can cook a meal in a short rest.
I was about to say, if you helped me out, then I can roll again.
Yeah, I'll help out. I'm basically just reading the journal.
There we go. That's better.
For the first hour, well, first off, any conversation?
Well, if she's reading the journal, I'd ask if there was anything interesting up in there.
Apparently, the White Leaf Foss was Crafen, and he was an imbecile.
That sounds about right. Undead tends to be imbecilic.
Well, he seemed to have a grudge against the town itself.
Also
And that's-
semi-logical.
And that's why he basically broke apart. The Necromancer had hoped that we would just assume that he was the problem.
No.
It's also handy enough that you found out yesterday's date. It was the 17th of the Lent.
There's also numerous mentions about someone called Ballenhost.
We should probably keep an eye out for that.
Aside from that, it is pretty much just going to build an army here. And it seems like the Minotaurs were the main force.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily not use them.
As you're sitting there for an hour, it seems, once again, it's just unnecessarily peaceful. It's just, there's nothing moving. There's no breath of air. Well, strangely enough, it does seem to be alright to breathe here. Tarpaulin doing a good job of keeping out the stench. As the second hour starts to run through, though, you do hear footsteps to the south.
2
sets.
I'm not the only one that hears that, right?
No, you both hear it.
No.
They're coming closer.
Well, in that case, we're probably going to have to sound the alarm.
I mean, you've got to make the call.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, I lean back and go, "Oi, you lot! We've got some people coming."
You all wake
I
up to that
conjure my
strangely
Warhammer.
working class announcement. What were you going to do, Castalia?
Conjure my Warhammer.
Okay, so you're brandishing your warhammer. Again, seething with that black energy coming out of it. Well, black smoke, correction. The footsteps get ever closer now. What are you all doing?
I'm going to peek around the curtain and see if what's entered the room.
You see
Uh,
a pissed off looking human wizard and a goblin beside him. And he notices you, but you've moved the curtain and says, I said I would go out there to keep protection, and you leave me out there for 2 fucking hours?
False alarm. Go back to sleep.
that's so fucking good.
I'm sorry, Scotch, I can't do your accent.
Yeah, we'll make sure he watches this.
Well, to appease him slightly, I hand him the scroll with the writing on and say, "Here, read this instead."
He just He takes a moment and thinks, I might as well just walk back to the fucking town at this rate. So you're all staying down in this in this rotten hovel?
There's
Oh, we
still
wanted to
more
take a nap.
below.
They were tired and wanted to be at 100% for what dangers may come. You're welcome to stay if you like.
He just pinches the bridge of his nose. Droop, get a tent. And he starts walking out again. I hope that's accurate. I figure it would be.
All right, everybody, go back to sleep.
Alright, who's up for the next watch?
I
It's
guess
gonna
I will
be
be.
me.
Or no, yeah. Let's
You
take
can
a
both
break.
go up if you want.
Really necessary though.
It's up to you guys. You chose to fall asleep in a crypt full of undead.
I think Siegfried's got this.
Yeah,
Still not the worst decision I've seen.
Are we trying to?
You could never top the worst decision I've seen. I cast Detect Evil in Hell.
You are now blinded. The light is everywhere. It burns.
your eyes start to bleed.
But yes, that was in one of my old games. A paladin in the middle of hell at a slave trade decided to cast Detect Evil.
Wasn't all that surprising, really, when it come down to it. Huh. Until he saw this one imp that didn't glow. Alright, Siegfried, you settle back. You settle back against the wall, but you're on edge the whole time, of course. Who knows when you could hear the next clopping of hoofs. The next low moo. And it's a little bit awkward because, I mean, alright, you know that Cornelius managed to make it up and down with no problem. But there's also that gaping hole leading downwards.
Yeah, that's where I'm probably spending most of my time making sure I can hear it, is make sure nothing comes up.
But yeah, as the hours progress, you hear nothing. You hear no change. Still feel incredibly unsettling, but then there is that gelatinous pool of vitrified remains next door. But yeah, your shift ends. Without incident. To the best of your knowledge.
I give Brigadier a bit of a shake and say, your turn, and then go back to tending wounds and try and get a bit of a sleep.
Fine. I put my armor on.
I mean, the
Yeah.
human's falling asleep. He doesn't have to know if you did your job or not.
This is true, but
I'm still up as well.
Yep. Exactly. She can cover it.
yeah, no shit. You know what? This is fine. I can cover this begrudgingly. I guess you'd be wanting a perception check.
I mean, if you want to forgo it, that's fine.
Should I be throwing them out, or am I just providing advantage?
You're just providing advantage, really, because, I mean, you're also still taking it easy.
True.
Because you don't want to go exhausting yourself while they're getting a full rest. But you know what? If you want, you can... There is the objects that they found you could inspect if you wished.
Oh, I'd be happy to.
Any conversation between the two of you?
I hurt a lot.
I still say we throw some fire in that first room and just bury this entire bottom part.
I can go with that. I'm not fond of the undead. Well, let's go make fire.
Yes, just go seal the chamber now, while the rest are trapped.
Do we have anything that makes fire, or do we have to go get Cornelius?
I figured we'd have to get Cornelius.
I don't know. Can Droop make fire? Can Droop be the fire?
Might be able to.
Goblins are flammable, right?
You're fairly certain in your exploits, but yes. Yes, they catch fire as well as any other humanoid.
I'm not sure the others would take it too nicely if you asked Droop to show the big pool of dead people his magic spells.
Fine, I guess you're right.
And you're not setting the owlbear on fire.
Yeah, burning feathers, they don't smell too good.
Rain, give me a strength check at disadvantage.
Oh dear. Oh, disadvantage strength.
Oh, yes.
Looks like rain is blasting off again.
Hang on, I need to roll with him as well.
Oh. Come on, crit.
Come on. Ah!
He tried, but Mr. Pufblesworth continued to stay in your grip. Just too warm to to put effort in.
He was tired too.
Yep.
What should I roll for looking at the bracelets?
Well, what do you... We'll say you can really check over one item right now. What are you going to have a glance over?
Would any of the other... have given me any input? I just left this up to my own devices.
Pardon?
Would any of the other members, I'm asking them right now, have put in an inquiry into what I should look over?
No, not particularly. Not me, at least.
To my knowledge, you've got 3 items: the wand, the
Well, no, she's asking if any of you would have suggested something, like a priority.
not particularly. I think at the moment we're all just trying to rest up and get ready for the next part.
Then likely the wand.
The wand, as you inspect it over, it's quite old. But then that doesn't really surprise you much. The wielder was elven. It doesn't seem to be anything from up north or along the coast where you're from. It doesn't seem remarkable. I mean, you've seen Cornelius's wand of magic missiles. And that is decorated, that is engraved, that is a beautiful piece of craft. This just seems honestly kind of plain. Understated, but plain. It just seems like an arcane focus of some region.
Interesting.
It doesn't seem to have anything inherent to it. Alright, next watch.
I imagine Zazel will get up and do his bit for the party.
Wolfgang does not. Wolfgang sleeps with his paws over his nose.
Yep.
We should go back to the big bone room and make sure he gets his prize pack. I mean, there were so many bones there.
That's
You
true.
clearly want one. We'll make
No,
him
those-
want
Those bones are tainted. Not good.
one. True. He is a smart dog. Wolf.
I'm going to have a quick peer down the passageway to the north to make sure that nothing's sneaking up there.
As you glance down to the extent of your dark vision, you just see it slowly curving inwards to the left as just a set of stairs are turning down.
Excellent. Nothing coming up.
No, you don't see anything. So what's the next item you want to check over, Castelia?
I would likely then take the cloak.
There's also the knife Zarzul has, but he hasn't really mentioned to anyone. He's just carrying around a sharpened chunk of bone. Which really suits the monster. I mean the adventurer. So what were you going to check over, sorry?
The cloak.
The cloak. As you feel along it, you do pick up on... Actually, roll me an Arcana.
Ooh, now we're talking.
Yeah, as you peer along it, you can make out on the very edges, but just seem to remain very, very faint arcane sigils. You're not really familiar with them, but they do seem to be working. And there's just this moment where you've held on to it for so long, and then you just think, why does it not feel like some simple travel cloak? And as you do that, it starts to shift in your grasp as you attune to it. And it becomes a simple traveler's cloak of brown cloth.
Oh.
That's an interesting cloak that you've got there.
I'm not entirely sure of the name, but I think it might reflect what people are thinking about it, or what they want it to be. Although there's likely a limitation to it.
You could always test that out.
It'd be an interesting cloak for somebody of the more, let's say, sneaky persuasion.
Zarzul, what is your favorite color?
Green.
I think of it as a green traveling cloak.
What is your quest?
It does indeed. Every fabric changes and shifts color until it's a nice, rich forest green. You're now holding a green traveler's cloak.
I wonder if it does patterns.
It's gone to the plaid.
Two kinds of plant. I'm a naked robot, and even I know that's wrong. I'll assume
I
that the two
also
of you.
found this.
I'll assume the two of you experiment like this for a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah. You then discover that, apart from it having to be a cloak, there's no real limitations on how it can look. You can give it a lace trim, you can give it patterns, designs. So long as you can think of it clearly, you can restyle this into many fashions. It's almost like it's a cloak of many fashions.
No way, I don't believe it.
I think that's actually what it's supposed to be called, yes.
That is exactly what it is, yeah. It confers no statistical benefits. It's just a fun little thing to put in Xanathars.
Yeah, a fashionably fun cloak.
Fun and interesting.
Shall we share a pipe then?
Oh, yes. Would you like the standard pipeweed or the good stuff?
Just standard.
I break a small chunk off the ball.
Is that big clumpy bot?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you savor it, Zarzul?
I pack my pipe and just slowly partake of it. No need to rush.
As you both sit back, it's quite pleasant. It's got this lovely mix of there's very faint berry traces, a nice little like wooden finish to it. It's almost like a fine glass of wine. The smoke itself is actually quite pleasing too. There's a few different floral scents mixing through it. It's quite good tobacco.
Most excellent.
Wonderful.
It's got that rustic quality to
The
it.
other half. I make sure the other half a kilo is well packed. Not going to. I got a lot of.
Yeah, you still got your massive wad. What they decided was a week's supply. For you, a year and a half.
They were good friends.
They certainly gave you a large amount.
I still have some of the Squirrel Man pipe weed. I may need of it this soon.
Squirrels,
Oh,
pretty squirrels.
When we return to town, then we can have less need of sense.
You'd think where the guards and police are, you'd have need more sense. And yes, unless there's any further things to say, your watch passes without incident.
Okay.
Of those who slept, you have all regained every bit of HP. You have regained half of your spent hit dice, or half of any of your hit dice total. Correction. So right now that'd be 2. All spell slots back, and the cleric is able to rearrange her spell slots. Or rearrange her known spells.
You just really want me to have some different spells, don't you?
No, I'm just bringing it up, just in case. Because not every class gets to do that.
I don't have 14 spells. I have 4. There we go.
14? Wow.
Actually, by now you'd know your wisdom modifier plus your level.
Yeah.
So you'd have 9 spells total.
Oh yeah, I'm more meant because the amount of casting remaining. I tried to put on my level 1 spells. I tried to say 14, and I'm like, no, that's not how this works.
But yes, you all awaken. Castalia has spent 8 hours sitting around this room, mucking around.
But she now has a very fashionable cloak.
Possibly.
I got to look over some of the items, so it was helpful.
So now you all stand in the bedchamber of the necromancer. There was no return of her.
Excellent.
No
Shall
return
we
of your
explore
wizard either.
deeper?
Less excellent.
You're going to go deeper?
Oh yes.
Yep. I'm going to do a quick scan for undead, as it were, if I can actually find anything besides the big pool next to us.
Alright, as you focus your senses, you peer down. You peer down where the stairs go. And there doesn't seem to be anything there. As you look upwards, trying to guess the path you took to get here, there's still several traces of undead. Small little bits of them.
No undead below. Possibly storage?
I have to remember to check my PDF so I know how detailed to be. I feel like I'm skimping details you should be getting.
Possibly. Doesn't matter.
But yeah, from what you can tell, the place seems to be clear, apart from the upper levels you just came from.
In that case, I'm going to just carefully go down the stairs, checking for any traps, using lantern for light, and see if I can't find out what's down the bottom.
Alright. I assume Siegfried's the only one at the front?
I'm just looking for traps. I'm not being stealthy this time.
Yep.
And I'll follow behind him.
Give me a strength save.
Oh, me?
Yep.
Oh.
Excellent.
Oh, that's the wrong sheet. Where's Puffleworth's sheet? Yep. Mr. Pufflesworth wanted to go to the front, but you managed to keep him in line.
He just wants to be first.
I'm going to follow along behind them all.
Alright, Siegfried, as you step through into the darkness, it's pretty close in. You do get a little moment of, how did they fit in here properly? And then you look up and notice, I mean, the ceiling is only about 6 foot up, and as you look up, you can see deep scores from where the horns were dragging through. And as you keep progressing, I mean, you're keeping an eye out for any changing pattern, anything off, anything strange. Is a step too smooth? Is it off kilter slightly? As you go down, it starts to become less well maintained. You can start to see parts where the ceiling actually crumbled in. You can see where the masonry fell in, but you don't see the rubble. You see holes in where the patterns and etching should be, but you don't see the remains.
Didn't
Oh,
the book mention that?
She's
I thought
asking
the
you, not
journal
me.
mentioned-
As Siegfried looks up to God for answers.
Well, in this case, I look back to Castalia because I know she was reading it.
Be nice to the rogue. He doesn't know how to read.
The book could have bitten them in any time, you never know.
I'm still thinking it might be a mimic.
It's a very
I'm
well
just
trained
talk-
one.
I'm just talking to God.
The stairs start to get a bit steeper now. The footing's actually kind of hard going because, well, they just plowed through and the place is long crumbled, so there's patches of just smooth rock and rough dirt. But eventually you come down to another open crypt doorway. And you can see that there's a wall in front of you about 5 foot ahead.
Okay. Check the doorway. I'm picking there's no traps, but I'm just going to do a quick once over. Very quick.
There is no trap, but you're lucky you pull your head back in time as just a chunk of the stonework falls. It's only about the size of a thumb, but you know, place is not in good condition. No traps, however, for the best of your knowledge. And as you peered up and down, as you peer to either side, you can see that it seems to be like what you can guess. It might even be a ring. You can see that to your left, there's a chamber on each side. It's just what's a good term for them, really? Sort of just epitaphs, plaques with names and causes of death on them, going off to the left and then to the right, and you can see that they're curving inwards in the same direction.
Okay. More burial area. I have a quick look at the, I guess the placards or the gravestones or whatever they are, and just see if I can make out what's going on.
As you walk along, you can see Bill Oderick, natural causes. Molly Horsted, slain by goblins. Ferox Hayworth, defense of a realm. Are you continuing to just walk, or are you just standing where you are?
I'll just stand and have a quick look around, see if there's anything interesting, or is it just more of the same?
There's names and causes of death. A few are actually quite cracked and broken, some are worn down. But a few are strangely pristine. Those ones you're actually able to read. But there's a lot of them, just lines upon lines. Each one of them is about a foot long and a few inches tall, and there's just layers of them on the outside surface of the wall. The inner ring has nothing. It's just the general sort of patterns you'd expect from somewhere like this here. There's some etchings to Kalemvor. There's a few of just sort of marching people. Just simple things.
You mentioned there's some other doorways?
Yeah, basically it's all one hallway in a ring shape.
Okay. So just make sure I go all the way around just
Yeah.
to make sure there's no other entrances or exits, and then
Yeah, as you get
probably
to
head back
this,
up.
there's no other entrances or exits, but as you get to the opposite side, there is this. What you saw at the top of the surface was like sort of a mockery, really, of this here. It is a scale of Kalemvor. It is resplendently golden. There isn't a mark upon it, not a scratch. You do see that there is a blackened chunk of bone nearby it. And you can also see on the scales themselves, there are 3 small little figurines of soldiers. Let me just scroll to this bit. Yeah. Yeah, they're actually of tarnished gold, a bit worn. And there's a plaque on the base of it. This scale itself, it's about 5 foot tall, and the dishes themselves are a good 2 foot across.
Does it look like it's supposed to be there, or has it been moved to here?
Well, it's a lot bigger than the other one, you noticed. But yeah, it seems to be
well,
like it should be here.
Okay, I was just making sure it wasn't the one from upstairs in one of the rooms.
No, it's good because I forgot to describe a bit of it. What it's sitting on is just this grand marble. It looks like a cabinet, but there are seams in it, but no handles. It's just solid, pristine marble.
Okay, so an altar to Rain's deity. Okay.
So be nice to it.
Yep, not going to touch this one.
You won't even trust the good
Seeing as
gods.
More along the lines of we're going to be probably asking gods for favors very shortly, so I don't want to screw up. So, seeing as we found nothing interesting, we head back up, I'm guessing.
Does Rain want to check out the altar?
Oh, yeah, Rain's here behind me, isn't she? I thought she was still upstairs. Oop, my mistake.
The whole group followed you down.
Yeah, I followed. I was the second one down.
I thought only Zazu and Rain came down with
I mean, up to you guys, I suppose. Yeah.
Did the dwarf follow?
Yeah. We just rested up so everyone would be 100% ready. Of course we're going on.
Yeah.
If I don't go, you're all gonna die.
Siegfried might fall over.
So yeah, on you guys.
Quite
If you also
possible.
checked the ring, or was it only Siegfried?
Well, I'll check it out too. What role do you want for that?
I don't need a roll. Just what do you do as you're confronted with this large golden edifice to your god?
Well, I check out the area to make sure that there's nothing untoward going on.
I mean, the only thing untoward seems to be that blackened chunk of bone sitting nearby it.
In that case, I go. I'm not gonna pick it up. I'm gonna look at it first.
It's a familiar sort of blackening. It's less fire and more like a burst of radiant energy hit it.
Huh.
Give me an intelligence check if you want to have a guess. You're thinking maybe this is still a consecrated area, and maybe a Minotaur skeleton got a bit too close.
I approve. See, we should have had our nap here.
Can you increase somehow pray to your god and increase its consecrated area to do the rest of this too?
I don't think that's gonna work out too well. I don't think I can do that. I'm not that important.
True.
Besides, if we go with the other idea, we're just gonna blow up the entrance anyways.
Do you approach the scales? Do you check around it?
but at this point, I do because I feel comfortable.
All right, roll me an investigation.
It might help if I don't completely get rid of my sheet.
Yeah, why did you close your sheet? Just keep it minimized. It's handy.
I did minimize it, but
On the plaque is written in Elven, what was the value of their sacrifice? You also notice that behind the scales, there's a false panel on the wall. It's definitely sitting slightly out of place.
Alright, so we've got a puzzle, guys.
Ooh, puzzle. Interesting.
There's a false back there, and the scale is asking what was the value of their sacrifice.
And on the left dish are several tarnished gold little soldier figurines.
He's not here. So, are there any other soldier figurines anywhere in here?
As you glance about, you don't see any.
Look, clearly... Does anybody got some gold? Just an idea.
Really? Somehow I think going to your god and saying three soldiers' lives are only worth a chunk of gold is not a good look.
I don't think so either, but I don't know what to do here.
You're the religious one. You're supposed to know what to do here.
Well, I didn't create this puzzle.
I did. I made this one.
You're God, though, so
Right.
you're different.
Out of character here? Hear me out. If I destroy it, we win the puzzle.
If you destroy it, you're gonna have a very pissed off cleric.
Corvus knows what I'm getting at here. Getting a little longsword. Worked before, yes?
What does your god virtue on?
Well, mostly self-control and honor, and not undead things.
Alright then. Now look at the figures and which of those best represents them.
Alright, so I'm gonna look at the figures and see what's up.
They all seem pretty identical. They're just little compact sort of, well, tubular shaped figurines of soldiers. Sort of like those Christmas chocolate Santa Claus things you can find. They've just got their details pressed into them.
There's no real difference in them.
Well, there must be some difference if we're supposed to...
Do you think we could brute force this puzzle? There's only three pieces to move around.
I will say the false panel behind it, you can actually step around and reach it. It's not like pressed against the scales or anything. In case I'm giving you a false impression.
Zazzle, being the total idiot he is, will actually try and just open the panel anyway.
As he reaches for it, it just comes away in his hand. It seems to be held by one little catch. And luckily he's not crushed by it. The panel itself is just wooden. Painted up quite nicely to look like stone.
Ah, excellent.
Well, that was anticlimactic.
Behind it you can see more of those little... more figurines in that style. More little soldiers.
I found the rest of the pieces.
Oh. Well, should we start trying to put them on the scale and see if anything happens?
Are they all soldiers, or you got a mix in here?
They are actually all soldiers. Again, they're also all very tarnished. Very worn looking.
Well, up to a point, I think we could probably try brute forcing this.
Hmm. Is there any soldier that is not unleashed?
No, they're all pretty identical in the details. The weathering and age on them is a little different, but not substantially. There's no pristine, and there's nothing that's been worn down right to its coating.
Hmm. I was hoping the undamaged one would be one that was accepted.
And a reminder that it says, "What was the value of their sacrifice?"
Hmm.
Well,
All of them.
well, how about those? How many tombs do we have in there?
There were a lot. I mean, there were only a handful of panels that were actually still pristine.
Well, I was hoping if there was a hint in the descriptions of the people who passed.
Could it be the lives of everybody else, which means that technically all the rest of the soldiers, or the little sticker is the figures?
Only the ones that you found.
Well, because they had the ones that are already on the scale, which I would assume are the ones. So yeah, we need to see what their sacrifice was worth.
Didn't we see a list of names before down here? With various reasons of death?
Yeah, you saw a lot of placards with names and causes of death on them.
Yeah, that's what I was asking
Yep.
about, is if there was any hints in those.
Well, very likely their cause of death would have been a good hint as to what they sacrificed.
Right, let's go back and read up those plaques again.
A lot of them are decrepit and worn out with age, but you see Bill Odrick, died of natural causes. Tremon Horstad, natural causes. Molly Horstad, slain by goblins. Agneta Millens, natural causes. Ferox Hayworth, defense of a realm. Una Hayworth, natural causes. Ted Nesbitt, defense of a realm. And Joachim Horstad, defense of a realm.
So 3 of them died with defense of the realm, and then we have 3.
And then one by goblins.
Well, they don't count.
You have 4 by natural causes. And 1 slain by goblins.
Well, in that theory, there are 3 already up here, so it could be that the 3 are the equivalent of the defense of the realm. So how many died of natural causes?
There are 4 there.
Well, then I'm going to go try, and I'm going to try to put 4 natural causes on the other side of the scale.
Does it have dates of when they died?
There are dates, they just vary a whole lot.
What about the dates for the one who died in defense of the realm, but also had someone who shared their last name? Which one died first?
Oh, that would have been a good one to go for. I can make this more elaborate next time.
Because if the one who shared his name was still alive, then he had the most to lose. But if they were dead and it was his spouse, he would have least.
Well, while y'all are trying to figure that out, I'm putting 4 on the scale.
For what?
I'm putting 4 of the soldier tokens on the other side of the scale.
The scale remains stable. But Castalia, as you're tapping at the dates and trying to work it out, you do notice it slides a little bit to your touch. The actual panel.
I slide the panel fully.
It comes free.
Is there anything behind it?
There is nothing behind it. It's just more of the sort of decorative work on the tomb itself. It feels a bit heavy in your grasp. But then it's stone, so.
Names. Dates.
Well, it's a fairly big set of scales, so maybe we're supposed to put the placards of the people that died of natural causes on the scales.
That's quite possible.
Yeah, we could try that.
Says the expert who worships his deity.
Hey,
Yeah.
that doesn't mean that I understand the puzzles. I didn't get a crash course in how to Kellenvor puzzles.
Do you do that?
Well, we've got nothing left to lose at the moment, so we'll give it a go.
Ah, I mean, you
Can-
think
can I
that.
come to think of it, can I do it?
Worth dies.
Can I do a religion check to see if I can get any insight on this?
Yeah, go ahead. I was going to save that for if you guys got stumped, but you were very good in this. You have no idea.
Oh no, I've completely forgot my religion.
No, you do know offhand that Kalemvor is a deity of death, of course, but of natural death. Of not having the natural cause of life and tradition and transition to death being perverted.
Well, yeah. Huh. Yeah, maybe the guys with natural causes might help.
She says this as she stands thinking while Castelli and Siegfried are carrying the placards across.
And I'm just rolling my eyes during all this.
Yep, as you set each of the placards down.
This is an Elven.
No.
As you set each of the placards down, you notice that when you put the heavy stone plate onto the dish, it actually starts to rise up. And with all four on, it reaches the top. The soldiers slightly clatter at the bottom as their dish falls with more weight. And the panels on the marble dais it's sitting on open up. And inside there are 4 diamonds and a ring.
Oh, in that case, does the ring look magical?
It's definitely got a very distinctive design to it. It's actually a dual finger ring. It's a yellow band that wraps around with lots of inscriptions of various runes in it.
Oh, well, in this case, I have this spell, so I can figure out a little bit more about it. Is it magical?
Do you have the ritual feat, or
Yeah,
Huh?
clerics have it.
so you're going to spend 5 minutes getting that?
10 minutes. It's 10
10
minutes plus.
10 minutes, yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's the duration.
No. That's how ritual casting it is. It's 10 minutes plus the casting time.
Oh.
Yep,
So that means she doesn't use up a spell slot doing it.
exactly. Siegfried, with your well-trained eye and appraisal of these gems, 2 of them look to be worth 300 gold. The other 2, quite large, are worth 500 apiece.
And will be very useful to keep you all alive.
Yep.
I mean, do you really want to take too much from the shrine? I mean, it is your god and everything.
He makes a good point, doesn't he?
Yes, but there was totally a puzzle to hide these for a reason, and it's probably so that they can get used in an important situation.
God
And I
wills
think this qualifies.
it. God wills it.
You can shut up.
We have need of them. It's just all for the greater good. We shall do great many things.
Not to mention the fact that if we go through with the idea, we're going to blow up the entrance anyways. And I don't think it would be very objectionable to take this out before it gets blown up.
Do we have
So
any
we're-
knowledge of the ring now?
It's definitely magical.
Alright, in that case, we'll probably take it along with us.
Yeah.
So that means I'll pick up that and the diamonds.
How greedy these clerics are. Yeah, you're the only one who can make use of it anyway.
Yeah,
Well,
I was
the
about to say,
diamonds.
I'm going to actually use it for its intended purpose and not sell them.
Although, I
What
mean,
school of magic is the ring?
yeah, that's what I'm looking for now, actually. wonder if it's even listed. Ah, yes. The ring is School of Abjuration.
Hmm. Is there any idea if it's a cursed ring or a good ring?
Unfortunately, it just is, I think.
It just is. Identify is a spell you need if you want to know if it's cursed or not.
Well, no, there is another way we can do that.
There is.
Hey, Siegfried, come here.
Yes. What is?
Could you put this on for a second?
Hold on a sec. I think that's wisdom, wouldn't it be?
I mean,
Or
it's
do
up
I-
to you if you want to do it or not. Why, are you thinking he's got the fear?
No,
I fail
no,
miserably.
Zazel will go up and say, Siegfried, you pussy. And put on the ring.
Mr. Pubblesworth
I
also
found my
looks at
ring.
you disapprovingly.
Okay, I put it on my other hand with one without the ring.
I mean, it's not very fashionable. It feels a bit weird how it's gripping two of your fingers together, but you can still move and flex. Yeah, it's weird fashion.
All right, can you take it off again?
I attempt to take it off.
Slides right off.
All right,
No,
that
so
works.
Your fingers are
You
still
do
there as well,
realise-
which is a nice bonus.
I do mention that sometimes the curse effect only happens once you've actually used the special ability on it.
Or when you've attuned to it, which takes a process of about half an hour to an hour.
You kind of want to find out what it does before you attune to it.
Well, if things do go pear-shaped, why did I get kicked out of the game? Well, let's try that again. I will point out that if it is cursed, I've got a spell for that.
Well, it's going to take half an hour, and quite frankly, we've still got other stuff to do upstairs. So let's get that stuff out of the way first, and
Yeah.
then we can worry about attuning while we sort out how we're going to bring down the whole place.
Yeah, that'll work. So I'll take back the ring for safekeeping while we figure it out.
Okay.
Zarzul, did you keep the knife on your person the whole time?
Yeah, of course. Where else would I store it? We don't exactly have a... Somebody's got to be carrying it.
Okay. Just making sure.
Are you going to inform any of us about that?
So you all walk upstairs.
Rain would notice it now. She's, I mean, if it's a magical thing, she would have spotted it when she was.
Yeah, you do notice
Oh,
actually it
looking
does. You do notice in the pack of the little kobold, there is something glowing. I mean, there's also a few other things glowing. Strangely enough, actually, Castalia is glowing slightly as well on the left shoulder.
Well, that I'm not going to be horribly surprised at.
The cloak itself is also glowing as well, so it's getting a little bit lost in that. The hammer and sword upon Malgern's... Actually, Malgern's armor is also glowing. Come to think of it.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's Mithril, it's
dwarf is
enchanted.
glowing.
You are...
I'll be very
You
happy
are
to
almost...
announce
Actually,
that
you're
you-
practically a beacon because your hat and your armor and your boots.
Let's put it this way: hat, armor, boots,
Weapons.
2 weapons.
The sword.
So he's got-
Yeah, Jesus. Yeah.
He's got a lot of magic. The kobold, it's his arms because he's wearing the gauntlets. Then the dagger. Let's see. He's also got that one arrow in his quiver, so it's kind of strange to look at the quiver and just see this one arrow glowing.
Well, in that case, I'll ask him about the dagger. What's up with that? Because I don't remember him having that.
Oh, I picked that up upstairs from one of the liches things, whatever they were. It's big skeleton dudes. Seemed interesting.
Well, whatever it is magical.
Ooh, interesting.
What school?
The school is unsurprisingly necromancy.
I think you've got yourself an undead dagger there, dude.
Well,
I didn't say dude.
it came from skeletons, so not unsurprising.
Yeah, true. Be
I
a bit
wonder what it
careful with
does.
that. I'd be a bit careful with that.
Let's see. I'm trying to think if anyone else has anything that would glow. I don't think Siegfried has any magic items of note.
I've got
And a
one
ring?
ring.
You've got your ring, that's right. You've got the ring of shielding. The ring of protection. And you have Castalia, if she still has her pack weapon out, that also counts as magical. Along
Well,
with
how
along with
long
her
have we got
along with her little
until
spice
it
pouch.
runs out?
Sorry.
Good question. How long have we got until the spell runs out?
By now, you've probably got about 8 minutes or so.
Get upstairs, check her room again.
All right, let's go.
As you double time it up the stairs to keep this duration going.
Why
Well,
not? I
in
mean,
both
this.
films, I can do it again.
And as you stand there, you
this
check
way we-
around.
Well, we've got it. Let's use it.
Yep.
Mhm.
Sorry for interrupting. But yeah, as you get up there, you glance around, you check over her personal effects again. No, none of it's got a glow to it. There's nothing. I mean, at least you can't really go through the wall. If there's anything behind those, it's just too thick.
Yeah, 1 foot of stone.
Yeah. The room seems clean.
Well, in that case, let's start heading back up. We'll start sweeping the room of any undead that we've left up top.
The moment you push the curtain away, though, it's just this blinding glow in front of you in the pit. Just for rain.
Ugh.
It is
In which case
seething
I'm
with
probably going to
necromantic
go,
energy.
"Blah!"
Yeah. It's just seething with necromancy.
Can I borrow a cloak?
I mean, you can always just look away.
It's not going to help.
Well, I want to hold it in front of my face for a bit.
You need 1 foot of stone.
I can't carry a foot of stone.
And
Or
so she
something
averts
she's
her
aware.
eyes, walking straight
You
into the
can
pit.
dismiss the spell too.
Yeah, that would make sense. So in that case, I'll probably do that. Just because I know we're going to walk through the other room that also has a pit.
Hmm It ceases to glow. And yeah, once again, I'm gonna need a con check from you guys as you enter the next chamber, because it's offensively reeking. I don't know, they'll actually drag you all across.
Yeah. I love seeing big numbers.
Stomach.
Yeah, sad. Looks like Siegfried's the only one. Hang on a second, though. I forgot, I've got one to roll as well.
Oh no. Or Pufflesworth.
Oh my god.
He's feeling very tipsy. There's some prophetic as it just sort of
Aw.
leans against you.
I pick him up to carry him through.
Oh, wait, wrong animal.
Let's see, let's move you guys over. Where's the rest of you? Ah, there we go.
Have we forgotten about that, or is he grown out of that?
So yeah, the only ones who are of weak constitution right now are the baby owlbear and the human. Everyone else has gotten themselves together enough to just sort of power through the stench.
As we go up the stairs where the dagger that I stuck in the stairs are, after we've all passed it, I'm going to grab the dagger back out.
Alrighty. As you do, the sheet of stone just slides out of place and starts to clatter down the stairs, but that's it. A lot of noise.
Okay, just wanted my dagger back.
Yep. You know that if that had been tripped, they would have had ample time to prepare for you guys. Alright, you are now in the room with a small room with the oppressively reeking pit of vitrified remains.
There's this room.
The fumes are thick. It feels hot and unpleasantly so. Because you don't know if it's from real temperature, it's just from decay.
So let's just get out of here.
Probably first place we want to check for undead and maybe magical items would be the dwarf tomb that had the trap on it that the blade's coming up.
Well, first you got to get out of his room.
And there's no for the lovely folks who are trying to find undead. There's no undead in here, right?
I mean, are you using an ability for it?
Didn't somebody else do that already?
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Yeah, it was for down mainly. I can do it again here. The pool's probably going to blind me for most of it, but yeah.
It doesn't blind you, but yeah, there's necromancy in there. There's undeath. Numerous, from what you can tell.
The 4 coffins.
There's nothing in the coffins, actually. Nothing that's giving you any signal.
Okay. Just the
Surprise.
pool.
Alright, so let's leave the coffin as it is. And let's go upstairs.
Yep, move your tokens. No.
I lost my
Wrong, wrong. You're not no-clipping this shit.
Alright, so Malgurn goes out of bounds using speedrun strats.
Well, I almost did it again. I'm having a very bad
Oh,
day.
hang on. Mulgurn. No, get the fuck back there. You put your foot there, didn't you?
I was mainly, I have to scroll to keep moving my thing.
Yeah, it's okay, I'll let you go with that then. Yeah, you all would have kept to the edge anyway, just from the reek.
The scrolling, because I can't see the whole thing in
No
one
worries.
page.
I'm deep into the edge mainly because if I go any closer, the lantern might set the whole lot off.
Mm. That's a fair point, actually. Nope, you're okay. And the next chamber, nothing's unchanged. There's still the many corpses. There's still the rattling bones of this Minotaur skeleton.
The Minotaur skeleton? I thought... Oh, hang on, I've gone to the wrong place.
Yeah, it's to the left. It's alright, this one you don't have to move through, unless you want to interfere with the coffins or anything.
Is there any undead things in the coffin?
No, from Zarzul's senses, he picked up no existing undead in this chamber.
So let's triple check the bodies to make sure there's nothing special.
I mean, they're all kind of ugly, but, you know, don't be cruel.
I'm more mean special as in any items we might want to acquire.
You gonna rifle through pockets of the zombies?
Special.
Yes.
Give me an
Only thing of
investigation.
interest here is that
What'd you say, sorry?
I was just thinking the altar's got the imprint of the scales on it.
It does, but it's a much smaller imprint than the one you saw down there. Like, the one you saw there was about 5 foot tall.
And also the storage room there. Is there anything in the storage room that we might want?
I think
Now
you
that we
checked
have
it all
some time
over.
to actually look
It's
it
just a
over.
lot of dried supplies.
AFK 30 seconds.
Anything we might want to take with us just so that we have some extra supplies?
But yeah, if you're gonna check the pockets of the zombies, give me an investigate.
Okay, I will investigate. Button. I can't read investigate.
So
I
now
tried to
we're
hit
rifling
intimidate.
through corpses, how far we have fallen.
Undead corpses, they're different.
As the holy cleric, who is worshipping a deity that goes against the defilement of the dead, starts rifling through the
They
pockets
are
of the
already
corpses,
dead.
starts
They are
raiding through
undead.
them, digging in deep to their rotten trousers. You manage to pull out three copper coins, and then as you're settling down on one of them, you notice there's a glint through a gap you can see in his torso It seems like it might have swallowed something.
Oh dear.
I come over and help.
There's something in him.
Oh?
Take a
Well,
look. I
then.
pointed out.
You can see also
Okay,
there's a glint in what looks like the stomach.
okay, that's a soft area. I take it.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
I'm
I
not
use
sure
it-
how okay I am with this.
I take out a short sword. I'm not going to risk the dagger on this. That could be bad. And open it up.
In one quick sweep, you open it, and there's just a lot of fluid starting to pour out. Just on all sides of it. Decayed,
Well, at
fetid,
this point, I
horrendous.
can't smell squat.
I know, I'm just thinking about the fact that Rain is probably on her knees right now as she rifled through her pockets.
Yeah, I'm gonna immediately stand up.
It's just pulling around your feet. And what flows out is a single silver coin that looks like it's been chewed on.
Oh goody. So I just kind of like with like my pinky and my thumb, I reach down and pick it up and shake it off a little bit.
Give me a deck save.
Oh dear.
She was looking kinda dumb with her finger and her thumb.
Unfortunately, as you reach down, you push a little further in than you intended.
Oh.
It's just on your fingertips, but it's not
Nice.
coming off with a single shake.
Nice.
Oh. I'm gonna shake off the coin as best as I can, and then I'm gonna try rubbing it against a wall or something.
If only
So as
there
you're
was
all
some
walking
goblin
up
you
the-
could-
As you're all walking up from the crypt, you can just hear this. As she's just dragging this coin against the stone walls.
I mean, Mr. Pufflesworth is soft and absorbent.
I am not putting this on Mr. Pufflesworth.
Give me a strength save.
Hey.
Oh god.
You're doing well and keeping him under control. Every time he seems to be pulling at the leash, you just manage to get a tight enough grip for him to settle back.
She might be getting the hang of this. Oh dear.
I mean, to be fair, he's also having an off day because that was a free. He's at disadvantage. Alright, then you rise up northwards into the next layer. So let's see here. Ah, fucking hell. Zoomed out too far. I should just have the party on copy-paste. There we go, Zarzul's in the right spot. I'll grab Malgern and Castelia. Now let's
Yeah, I'm
see.
back
toss
now.
the
Sorry
dwarf.
about that.
Rain and Pufflesworth. In the wrong spot right now. I'm going to scroll across. Now, there we go. That's everyone together. Once more, you rise up into the chamber where you fought the skeletons. And Zarzul, you're able to see that large, conspicuous, blatantly obvious coffin where a Minotaur skeleton crawled out of.
Yep. We never actually found out where that tunnel goes.
True.
Didn't
Why don't we-
open enough.
Oh, why don't we find out now?
It was very deep.
Yeah, you weren't able to see the bottom with your 60 feet of dark vision.
Well, maybe if we take a copper coin and drop it down.
And actually, give me whoever wants to think about it, give me an intelligence check on how it lines up with the rest of the area you've been in. Yeah. Best you can figure out, it doesn't actually line up with any of the crypts you've been through.
Alright, so we'll go with the copper coin idea.
Well, we could just drop the whole slab down.
Ah, but what happens if there's something that we don't want to destroy down there?
There's a zombie Minotaur skeleton down there.
Accurate, but what happens if he had something on him?
And he's 60 feet down and we don't care.
I don't have it. My rope ain't long enough.
You could always climb.
Well, if we put the rope down, then that at least gets us somewhat down. It depends on how far down it is. So I'm going to drop a copper coin down there.
You drop it and you wait for a bit. After only about a second or two, you can hear very faintly. But luckily you've got the half-elven ears. You can hear it. You can hear it hit, clink off something.
So we know it's not really far down. Probably not far enough down we'd want to just jump, but...
Go for it.
Oh, no, I'm not jumping.
It's only 1d6 per 10 feet of falling.
Well, why don't we try setting the rope up?
If I roll
So that we
low,
can
you guys could live.
Why don't we try setting the rope up and
You're-
seeing how far down we can go?
I mean, you're golden gods after all.
Problem is, my rope's already attached to getting out of this place, if I remember rightly.
Do my boots of springing also make me bouncy?
Yes. You bounce once. I think offhand one of your party has another dungeoneering kit, which would have rope.
That's...
Yeah,
I do.
Well, Gurn might as well. I'm not sure.
I don't think I do.
Well, why don't you check your
I have.
sheet?
Did I put all my inventory in this one, or did I have to go to the
Well,
other
you can also look up the dungeoneering pack in the compendium of Roll20. It'll tell you the contents.
In that case, do we lower the lightest person down?
Well, I volunteer just because
She's greedy.
No. Because what happens if there's some of our stuff down there?
Yeah.
I might be able to notice some things. Why is my PDF trying to update? Oh, because it thinks I'm level 0. That's glorious.
well, apparently I have 50 feet of rope, so let's do this.
Is the
So-
edges of the hole stable enough for us to actually lower rope down?
And who is going to hold Mr. Pufflesworth?
Oh, you're being serious?
Yes, I'm not taking him down there with me.
Oh.
There's a... And then you just feel a lump of dried material just landing on your foot ring.
Glorious.
Do they make little like packets like owls do?
They would, but he hasn't actually been fed anything but has the hair and bones.
Okay.
It's just a little
I'll
clump
look
of
after
bristle.
Mr. Pufflesworth.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, now Mr. Pufflesworth, you're going to be a good little owlbear while Rain is gone.
Roll me animal handling.
He is the best one for that.
I think we have to change your class to fighter. There's no way you're a fucking ranger.
Double ones, my goodness.
That's amazing every time.
Proficiency in that.
The duck
Everything
skills are
related to
real.
animal handling. You haven't gotten fucking double digits yet.
I find these rolls acceptable.
As you're telling him, you can't help it, and you start to stick your finger out and give a little gesture. And it's intoxicatingly tasty looking. And you're lucky enough that you managed to realize, oh, I'm dangling this thing like it's a bit of meat in front of it, and withdraw your finger just as the beak chomps down on air in front of you.
I have its attention.
Oh man, with double ones, he kept his appendage. Really?
Don't feed him.
Not doing it intentionally, I don't think.
It only counts as 1-1. Remember, you can't crit fail on a skill check anyway, but 6 is
Yeah.
still terrible.
so used to crit failures being like nice.
Well, okay. I guess we make up a small rope harness for Rain, and then I guess me and Regia kind of slowly lower her down.
All right, remember everyone's safe word is kangaroo.
It's a
Wallaby.
kangaroo.
Wallaby, that's just a pretend kangaroo. That's when you want to relax for a second. All right, you're gonna start lowering her down. I'm guessing it's gonna be mainly Malgern taking the brunt of this. Although Zarzul is
Yeah.
the second strongest in the group, but now he's got the owlbear.
Which is good because I don't want him following me.
So, do you want a straight up strength roll or athletics?
Let's see. Where's your car? No, it's actually you've got. I'll say Siegfried, give me a dex check since you're one putting the harness together.
While holding the owlbear.
Well,
no,
that's
that's
Oh no,
that's
never,
Zarzul.
yeah, never mind. The not ranger.
yeah. As he's working it, you get the suspicion the group as you watch that maybe he's done this before. Maybe it wasn't entirely professional circumstance, because he seems very skilled with a rope. But yeah, as you start, it fits well enough. Turns out he's a complete virgin. Never touched a woman. Never seen a boob.
I was only for cleaning windows that I know how to do this particular harness.
Oh, come on. I've heard that song, When I'm Cleaning Windows. Just realized you lot
You were
probably
cleaning
haven't
the
heard that
windows
song.
And then her husband showed up, right?
That was the fast exit that day.
carved his name on the wall of a roof, or on the wall, and just jumped out the window before pulling his trousers up. That's why they said he's always up the crack of dawn.
Why did you sell that?
Alright, as you're lowering her down, the hole itself is actually very sturdy. It's perfectly matching the dimensions of the coffin as well. The walls would be smooth, but you can see where the skeleton is actually just bashed out and carved itself, handholds and foot grips. You can see great scores and trenches of where its axe blade it's dragged up against the stonework. And as they're lowering you down, you get past... Once you go past the next 10 feet or so, you can actually see the bottom. You can see the broken remains of a Minotaur skeleton. It's a little unnerving because the skull is still aiming straight up at you. And it's still somewhat intact enough to look as if it could just rise up and swing it for you. As you lowered further down and down, it turns out the descent total was 70 feet. And as you come to stand, you're in a small little cove. And in front of you is a pretty fancy looking lockbox. It's about 2 feet by 2 feet, really.
So the only thing down here beyond the skeleton that we don't care about is the lockbox?
Well, as you look behind you, you do see another skeleton there. But this one dwarven in nature. And much older. Most of it's already turned to powder.
And it's not moving at me, right? It's dead.
I mean, it could be a trick of a light. No, it's not moving at all. There's no red glint in the eye, nothing.
As long as it's not moving, then I'm gonna leave it exactly as it is. I'm not even looking at it. 'Cause
Honestly,
I don't disturb dead things.
Actually, roll me a religion.
She said as she was pickpocketing the dead.
No, those were undead dead things. Which one did you want? Religion?
Religion, yeah.
I'm sensing some double standards here.
From what you've been taught, there's not even enough of a skeleton to animate.
Okay, in that case, then I'm gonna leave that perfectly alone. I'm not even looking at it. I'll take the lockbox. And then
You try to lift the lockbox?
yeah, I'm gonna try. You said it was 2 feet by 2 feet.
Yeah. It's heavy. I mean, you can heft it up, but you're starting to feel a bit of pain shooting through your knees and a bit in your back.
In that case, I don't think they're gonna be able to hoist that up. So I'm gonna go back to the rope.
can I suggest that you tie the lockbox onto the rope? We haul up the lockbox and then we haul up you afterwards.
Well, that's what I was going to suggest. So, yeah, let's give it a go. Because I don't know if I can tie it up well enough, but we can try it. Because I don't think the lockbox weighs more than I do.
Still, it's not as sort of easygoing lifting that up as it was putting you down. Like, descent is easier.
Well, yeah.
Alright.
Let's give it a go. I'm going to try to tie it up and tell him to hoist it up.
Yep. Okay, then. I'll need a strength check from Malgern.
I'll be helping with my little bit.
Yeah, you can have advantage for it. It's not that hard going, it's just irritating how every time it hits the wall, it feels like you're losing an inch or two and having to re-grab it. Meanwhile, Rain, you're down that dark little cove. No one nearby.
Well, I will point out that I didn't make my holy mace stop glowing properly.
I mean, you've also got dark vision, so you can see around you. It's just... it's feeling
and
a
your
little cold
dwarf
right
buddy.
now.
You got dwarf buddy.
I
Fine.
don't mind dead things.
You can feel the hairs on the back of your neck starting to prickle. It's not like a sensation of dread. It's actually feeling colder. It's mine. It's mine! I don't need you to roll initiative.
Ah, hell.
As from behind, slowly rises a dark, shadowy figure. I'm actually going to need to put just... there we go, I'll just grab this because I don't actually have a token for this creature.
Oh, after all that time you spent with tokens, you don't.
I
even
was
have one.
doing
Oh,
it for so many other creatures.
I forgot to click myself.
Somebody wasn't prepared for class today.
I thought I already had one, but it turns out, nope, out of all the undead I put together, I forgot to put this one in.
Just use the gnome again. Or the horse fireball.
I have that now.
Excellent.
Yeah, let's see here. Effect tokens. See, look. Look, you asshole. See, it's a flaming sphere. I have one now.
Oh,
Well,
I liked it
I
better
will
when it was a
point
horse.
out I forgot to click myself, so
It's okay.
I clicked myself in my sleep.
And you fail.
There we go.
Last. He's gonna start imposing a house rule.
You know what other tokens I
yourself
have?
for last.
Look. Bat and a rat.
Excellent. Excellent. I know what that's for. Wasn't there something else too?
There is something else, but I forgot what it was, and I was running out of time. So yeah, let's see. So he's a mighty 15. As yes, behind you, Rain rises out from the corpse of a dwarf. This just billowing darkness of a figure. It seems to have the same sort of dimensions, and the face is just a drawn-in skull. But every moment you breathe, it seems to be getting distorted by just any passing of air, and just red glowing eyes. If Siegfried and Malgern were down here, they'd recognize it. They'd met this kind of undead before.
Oh no. Oh no.
Well, that's glorious.
Have fun.
I'm gonna tell the people up there to hurry up.
I
I'm
mean-
wasting as fast as I can.
I mean, that's the thing, you would if it was your turn yet. Let's see here, so... 15, but your dex is 2?
Who, me?
Rains.
Mine is 2, yes.
Yeah, so it will go
Oh.
first. The rest of you, aren't you rolling?
Oh, you want us to?
Well,
I was just
Might
gonna
as-
wait and see what happens.
yeah, might as well. We'll skip your turns until unless you want to be firing down the hole.
I'm still
We don't know
lifting this
anything's
thing.
happened yet.
Yeah, it's like I'm still lifting the heavy
Yeah.
box.
Mulgurn's still lifting the box, which is the only route of escape. And the box is already about halfway up.
Good luck. I would say if I knew what was going on. I'm just more grumbling about how heavy this goddamn thing is.
Let's see. Where the fuck... There's the turn order settings. So, we skip you guys. Wait, where the fuck did... The monster's meant to be above, because he's got more decks.
And the monster suddenly died. And the animated peril was averted.
As it's just going to reach out straight for your face with its... It seems like a skeletal claw, but again, it's just billowing in a wind that seems to be only affecting it. But it reaches forth anyway. 13 I don't think hits.
No, it does not.
Which is why it tries again.
I'm 15.
It does even worse. It's trying to grab you, but
Wow.
this... It seems like the light from the mace is actually sort of fighting it back a bit. As you're face to face with a wraith.
Come on.
Rain, it's your turn.
Well, in that case, I am going to light him up. I would have used inflict wounds, but I got rid of that.
Burn it! Burn it!
Yeah, I'm all the way down here, so I am not gonna play around. I want him dead.
Unfortunately, that's a disadvantage because it's a ranged attack. And he's right against you.
Yes, it is. I need to do it again.
Wah, wah.
Let me see.
So just roll me a d20 plus 7.
Oh, you don't want me to just click it again? 'Cause
Well,
I
I'll
already
take the
have
damage if it hits. Wow. That is impressive.
All right, so that's all your crits for the evening.
Yeah,
Hopefully
that's
it was
impressive.
worth it.
I did my bit towards this. I got double one. Somebody else could get double 20.
Let's see here. 14, 27, plus 6. Minus 33. As it gets lit the fuck up.
And he's
This
suddenly
Rain just
creeping
yells out in
that
surprise and
someone
unleashes all her
fucking
power in one globule of light energy.
I don't think he's having a very good day. At which point I'm also going to yell out with the bonus, "Oi, I've got trouble!"
Yeah, there's also a fact that, you know, when this light was blasted there, it shone right up the fucking coffin. You all, the whole party just got to witness as it just flashed this
Okay.
flash of light.
For hilarity's sake, would this have distracted my lifting?
Oh god, no.
I mean, you weren't expecting a flash of light. It's a fair point.
I'm doing this for comedy's sake.
Give me a
Let's-
give me a wisdom check.
Okay, good. As long as you didn't say intelligence.
Oh god.
You are quite
Well.
startled. Give me a strength check at disadvantage.
Oh, this is gonna be funny. This is why we play these games.
As you were just so used to the peace and quiet. It
Oh,
does-
And there goes my crit. Goddamn.
Yeah. No, that's a low roll for you.
No, that's just regular. Okay.
But yeah, it slides from your hands, but only for about 5 feet. As you just readjust yourself and just okay. All the quiet and peace is just gone now. It's back
I'm
to
just
battle.
Seeing
But,
the little spots in my vision.
yeah, every time you blink,
Like
you can
just
still
got
see the
your
shape of the
picture
box
taken.
outlined.
Yeah. Oh, I hate you so much.
All right, the rest of you, you've been informed.
No. Yeah. My eyes have been pretty well informed that there's something down there.
So let's see here. So that brings us back to would be back of Siegfried.
Well, I'm going to try. attempt to help to get the box up faster so we can get the rope down to Rain.
Alright, that'll give Mulger an advantage on his next go. Wolfgang is not really built for this situation.
He'd help me, but he doesn't have thumb. Get it myself, but I don't have thumb.
Wolfgang is going to try and corral Mr. Pufflesworth and make sure the fluffy bundle stays calm and collected.
The fluffy
doesn't
bum.
get
Yeah,
in the way.
I like that first one more.
Give me a wisdom roll from Wolfgang. Because that's his animal handling, he doesn't actually have the tab. Although, doesn't he get skill proficiencies as well?
He does. He's got perception and stealth.
No, but I mean as
Yeah.
like revised ranger, I think they do get proficiencies at some point. I might be misremembering.
Possibly as well, yeah.
But yeah, at the moment it's not really helping much. There's an instinctive urge in Mr. Pufflesworth to just attack this wolf that's trying to assert its dominance. 'Cause it's an owlbear, damn it. Wolfgang is prey. Zarzul. You heard a yell and a flash of light. Also, after her yell, all of you do recount the fact that when Siegfried first went to open up a coffin, he was told by Rain, no, we shouldn't desecrate the dead. We should leave all this alone.
This is slightly different. I had to go down a hole. I wasn't sure. If I was owned by
Of
it.
course it's slightly different.
And the hypocrisy continues.
No. That's the reason I didn't touch the dead guy.
I'm so glad that Wolfgang is
I'm
also
gonna
shit.
look.
She didn't
I'm gonna
touch him
look-
because he's a dwarf. Do you want to
You're
admit it?
gonna look down?
I'm going to look down the coffin and see what I can see down there.
You see mainly the rope and the box, and you can just about make out past it as it swings now and again. The glowing outline, quite distant, of the wraith. At this point,
Okay.
it would have a lot of cover. Plus, it's just the awkwardness of shooting down like that.
Okay. I'm going to take a shot anyway.
Yeah, you can go for it.
Okay.
Don't hit me.
What
That's
if
a
he's
crit.
20 something popping out? You don't have advantage.
Why? Rain's next to it.
Yeah, but it's a straight roll at that. You're trying to shoot downwards. You're trying to avoid a box that's swinging and knocking against the wall. It's a pretty difficult shot.
Okay.
Sadly, a 14. Well, let's see here.
And I yell out, drop the box.
No.
Why?
If
The
you drop-
wraith's underneath it.
Yes, but if he drops the box, then I don't have a way back up.
Also, I will
can
point
lower
out that
the rope.
potentially
I'm doing my own animal handling. What's going on? I dropped the box?
there's also
That's
potentially.
my plan.
I mean, depending how the box falls, it could either land on the wraith or on Rain.
That is... I mean, some of you may die, but that's a chance that I'm willing,
willing
to
to
take.
If you drop the rope, I can't get back up.
Fine.
Castalia. There are consequences to people's actions, and now you know that for sure today.
I didn't expect to have to think this hard today. I already went to work.
Can't believe I forgot to do a fucking Wraith token. What are you doing, Castalia?
Well, I'm somewhat torn between dropping a rock down the hole or just lighting my pipe and waiting.
I like that second option.
There's a lot of
Need
affection in this
style
script, I
points
can
for
feel
that.
it.
Can you feel the love tonight?
Well, I can't really do much.
Yeah,
I mean, they're so far.
You know how people say don't split the party? What have you guys just done?
I had nothing to do with it.
Well, hey, it's not like we were all gonna get down here.
There was enough room for a
No,
Minotaur to
but
come
we
up.
could have also, not disturbed things. Let's see. No, none of that helps.
I'm just pointing out there was enough space for a Minotaur skeleton to come through. Probably enough room to dangle 2 people down.
Well, yeah, but we would have had to do it one at a time.
Yeah, we only have one rope. we decided to go for the box first.
Hawk, you could have climbed it.
Well, then I will do pretty much the most unimportant thing possible.
Huh.
I will conjure a minor image of a rabbit so Mr. Pupplesworth has something to chase.
I approve. I approve. That the cleric approves.
Roll me deception.
Oh, are you sure you want that? Okay.
Yeah?
Oh, did I click the image?
It's
No.
okay. Yeah, he just... Mr. Pufflesworth just looks right away from Wolfgang and just follows that little bunny just with his eyes. You can see that the rump is slowly raising in the air, getting low to the ground in the front, and just padding after it.
Excellent.
Mulgurn!
I'm at a loss here.
You know
I
that
really
Siegfried is helping you out with a rope. He's got a hold of a cord. He's giving you a reach around, if you will. He's ready to help you haul this in.
Yeah,
Or you could let go. It's a 50-50 chance, really.
I will end you.
Do I take the sane option or the comical option?
I mean, she
Again,
took your mace, damn it.
She did.
You were using that to put your hat on when you were camping. So I'm pretty convinced he never fucking swung it once in all that time he had it.
Nope. Let's see. Decision. Ooh. I kind of want to let go.
I mean, the thing is, if you do haul it up, I mean, that's it. The rope's gone. In a way, she's more trapped than she was before.
No, that's not true.
I'm gonna just continue hauling.
You have advantage on it, so give me an athletics.
Come on. All I saw was the wraith. I didn't see
Yeah.
rain down there, so
I can't see shit, so you know.
You could,
I'm just
I mean,
gonna
you could
go
only
with my gut here.
see the wraith because it was glowing. They're beyond your dark vision ranges.
assuming her mace was glowing as well.
Oh, yeah,
I would have
suppose,
seen
actually,
that.
yeah, you would have seen her. Yeah, I didn't take that into account.
Okay, so I would have seen her down there as well.
Yep.
That would have changed my idea. But never mind.
Sorry. I forgot that, yeah, it's glowing bright as the dawn, so you would be able to see past it. And yeah, you start hauling it up. You managed to get a good... I mean, it's probably about 35 feet away, so you managed to trim 30 feet off it. It's just hanging there, filling much of a coffin. Another good yank and you'll have it. But now the way is a bit clearer now. Now it's the turn of a wraith. Who is just... Let's see here. Yeah, kind of weird. Doesn't actually have anything else. Once again, it's just going to try and reach for you.
Is it going to go after rain, or is it going to start trying to get the box back?
Well, the box is all the way up there. He's done with that.
I mean, it wouldn't... There would be a question about it, except she blew him the fuck up with a guiding bolt.
Yeah.
Wow.
We'll remember that.
I am not rolling well today.
Oh,
There
what
we
are you
go,
talking about?
22.
Oh, no.
Give me a con save.
Con save.
as you take 19 necrotic damage.
Oh crap. Oh, I forgot to do my hit points.
Yeah, you're back up to full.
Yeah,
No,
okay.
no takey backsies.
Yeah.
So 19 damage, so
But yeah, it just reaches in, it just reaches, places his hand on your cheek, and you can just feel this horrible withering energy sail through your neck, down to your shoulder. It feels like it's almost akin to just having part of you just pressed against ice. But you managed to
that was
shrug.
glorious.
But you can feel it could have been much worse, but you managed to sort of just grit your teeth and power through it. Let's see.
Does he look really hurt right now?
He looks like a ghost.
I'm trying to ascertain how much I screwed him up.
That really fucking hurt. No matter what anything was, that hurt. And that's what he does. As he just stares at you with those red blearing lights. It's mine. Your turn.
Well, in that case, because that hurt, and I don't want to do that again, so I'm going to do...
To be fair, he was thinking exactly the same thing.
I'm going to do that.
You decide to try and replicate what he was doing as he still has his hand on your cheek. You try to reach out, and as you place your hand there, it feels horribly cold and wispy. And then you try to chant the words and get the spell to go, but it doesn't do anything.
Oh, 15
Isn't
doesn't
it
hit.
starting about?
Oh no, it
Doesn't
hit.
Guiding bolt give you advantage?
No, it hit. It didn't do anything.
Oh. It didn't damage him?
As a ghost, as a vengeful spirit of undeath, might be immune to necrotic damage. Kind
Oh,
of its
yeah.
thing.
Oh yeah. That's the only that's the only touch spell I've got.
Well, could be worse. He could be healed by it.
Yeah?
Yeah, true.
Good
Yeah.
idea. It's +8. Siegfried, you're up. You're way up. I mean, way further up. You're 70 feet up over at Rain.
You could
I'm
always
gonna
drop down.
You could. He'd give me some acrobatics.
You're the dashing rogue. You could always jump down.
You hear feebly from the pit. Someone could always come down and help
Oh.
me.
How far down would I be able to actually climb if I tried?
Considering you're a sneaky rogue, I'd give you about... Let's see. If you're using your actions just to dash, I'd say you'd be able to scale about 60 feet down. Provided you rolled high on your acrobatics.
Yeah, or else I'm going to fall flat on my face on the bloody
Well,
thing. Yeah.
no, I'd say you'd make
No,
less
you
progress. If you rolled really fucking low. But I don't think you can. I think you've got too big a modifier.
Okay. I'm going to try and get down there so at least I might be able to help slightly. This is going to end poorly.
Give me an acrobatics.
Nope. Pufflesworth, don't
Fine.
eat the
Wrong one.
Acrobatics?
fortune
Okay.
cookie.
Yep.
And so the entire adventure of the Locks in the Lab. The annals of history.
Well, on the bright side... On the bright side, you make it further than you were going to if you rolled high. Just at speed.
No, the real question is,
At
does he
least
collect
do get
the
from
lockbox
above
on the way down?
onto-
Oh
But
no.
at least do get from above on the actual rate.
Yeah, I mean, there's possibilities here. Maybe he clacks against the box.
Oh
Oh
no.
god.
Oh no.
So I think that's the first thing he needs to check is see if he hits the box.
There are 3 different options at work here.
Luckily,
And
there's a
that's the
die for
one
that.
that's going to be. Okay. Siegfried, as you prep yourself and realize, what the fuck am I doing? As you stand on the lip of the coffin, you realize, what the fuck am I doing? Once again, but louder and more desperate in your head, and you actually say it out loud as you jump down. Your elbow knocks against the box.
Oh God.
It hits against the side. It catches. Malgern, give me a strength check.
Yeah, saw this coming.
Hey.
You manage to keep your grip. It falls another 10. It falls another 10 feet and swings.
I'm never gonna get this thing up, son of a bitch.
Here's the problem, though. As it falls 10 feet, it then starts to swing, and as Siegfried is reaching out for the wall, it clouts against him.
Nice.
You take 2 points of bludgeoning damage, but more importantly, it smacked you in the arm as you were reaching out for a grip for a handhold. And from that point on, it's just some desperate scrabbling as you plummet. If you want to try a death from above, I will let you roll, but you're going to take a lot of damage from this.
I'm going to try and go for the. At the moment, I'm going to try and grab for wallage.
Alright, you're going to focus on a handhold bit? Okay, well, let's see here.
Siegfried goes splat.
Siegfried is going to go splat. We know this.
Siegfried is currently in
down to
free
all.
fall when his turn ends.
Yeah.
Zarzul and Wolfgang, what are you up to? As you just
Well,
saw,
acceleration.
as you just saw Siegfried jump.
You can come
Well-
down too.
Yes. But that would be even worse idea at this point.
I mean, you'll have something softer to land on.
You wanna help me with this box?
That's what I was thinking. I'm going to help Malgern with the box.
Okay, he'll have advantage next time he pulls it. Castalia, that was quite a thing to see. It almost, even the illusionary rabbit and Pufflesworth are looking at the coffin where Siegfried just leapt down.
The rabbit is.
As you hear
That's
a
how you know you've
as you hear a
made it.
tirade of pleas, of, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck.
That was the time. I spend a minor action to light my pipe.
That's a free action, I'll allow that.
I'm gonna-
And then I walk over to go help Malgern with the box. Because clearly we're going to get one thing out of this call.
Excellent.
As you're walking across, the smoke in your pipe blackens for a moment, becoming a dark wisp, and you just hear... Alright, Malgern, with the assistance of 2 of the party members, you're just able to bring the box right up and out of the way. It's still tied
Yeah.
up. but-
I'm gonna attempt to untie the box.
No, that's easy enough. You do that there. Yeah,
Okay.
I'd say you still have your action. Do you want to jump down?
Can I use the rope to kind of shimmy down? Somebody hold it for me, because I've got all this assistance. I give them one end of the rope, and I attempt to use it to get down.
Do you
because
two
I'm
agree
not
on
gonna pull a
this?
Siegfried.
Yep.
Are you going to?
That's always gonna...
Actually, hang on a second, Malgern. How much do you weigh?
That's a good question.
In your armor.
Yeah, you're like 240 or something as a dwarf alone.
Yeah. Did I put my weight? Where is that on the sheet?
Well, how much is your equipment weigh? 'Cause it's laid out in your inventory at least.
Equipment weighs 71.
Yeah, so you're about, we'll say you're about 300 pounds. As we look to Castalia and Zarzul, I don't think combined they weigh close to that.
Oh shit.
Unless she's been
Yeah,
lying
'cause
about her
I
statistics.
rolled my weight at. My weight is 172 plus the equipment.
I'd say they could hold you. There might be a strength check or two. But yeah, so you're
I'm not
gonna
pull this in.
you're gonna start climbing down the rope.
Yep. I'm gonna attempt to get the rope.
You managed to make it 30 feet down.
How deep is this thing?
70.
Oh. I'm coming!
Yep.
We're going to have problems.
And it's now the Wraith's turn. And is going to once again swing out to try and drain life from Rain.
Oh,
Oh!
hell.
I get one!
Oh, hell.
Nice!
Yes, I get
Not
one.
nice, not nice.
That is... Jesus, that is 8d8.
Oh, God.
Good, I rolled like shit. You're very lucky there.
Oh, God.
You take 29 necrotic damage as it just...
Oh,
as,
that don't matter. I'm on the floor.
Yeah, but it could have been like double your... That could have been real bad.
So I'm on the floor.
yeah, as its hand sweeps down from your cheek to your neck and just digs its wispy, ethereal fingers in. And there's this moment where the pain just stops and you just fall. Give me a con
This doesn't
save.
hurt anymore.
All right, let's see. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Okay, you managed, even in this state of just being drained, you still managed to fight through the worst of it as you just drop unconscious. It's then going to look up and see the blur that is Siegfried. And past him, it can see the box. And it starts to float upwards. It passes by the dwarf. Who doesn't get an attack opportunity because he got both hands on the rope or he fucking falls.
Yeah.
And he's just on the cusp of the...
Actually, can I take a attack of opportunity?
We'll get to you in a moment. You're currently occupied. You're busy plummeting. You do not have a time for a coordinated attack. And yeah, Zarzul Castalia, you can see the pure hatred of these red orbs blaring up from the hole. Rain, give me a death saving throw. It's just a d20. There you go, that's what... Oh, wait, what I'm talking about, that was for the second save.
That was not a good roll.
That's a failure. 3 of them and you are dead. Now, our boy Siegfried. Give me a dex save. As you're trying to get some sort of foothold, you're trying to clamber. 16's pretty good, but you are already falling at a speed. You manage to just sort of dig yourself in, you grab a short sword, you try to push the blade down, a dagger in the other hand, you're just trying to slow yourself. And then the wall stops and you crash onto a pile of bones. And you take half. Let's see. There you go. You manage to cushion yourself, you take 12 points of damage. As you smack against the ground, the bones. And also, one of your feet hits the back of Rain.
Ow.
You're... Sure. I don't think you're confident to say ow.
As you look at yourself on the ground, as you feel the pain surging through every part of your body, that didn't go exactly to plan.
No, it didn't.
Next
You
time,
can
maybe
try
a
to
rope.
help me a little bit.
I haven't been told if I've actually got an action other than falling yet.
You do I will allow you an action, yeah.
Is there anything I can do to actually help Rain?
You could try him if you had a healer's kit, or you can give me a medicine check as you try to stabilize her, as you drag yourself over.
I'm going to try the medicine check. I don't actually have a med kit.
It's almost like we were putting all of our eggs in one basket.
As you're padding across, you're trying to make sure everything's breathing and all. It's not seeming to do the full trick yet. It's just, I mean, she was drained of life with necrotic energy. It's not like a wound where you can just put pressure on, draw a tourniquet.
Next time, roll higher than a 9.
Yeah, if you
Do we
rolled.
actually have any healing potions?
Oh, I have those red potions we just got.
Oh, this sounds like a horrible idea.
Yeah, it's a shame you didn't stock up on healing potions. Even from a very friendly dealer who was selling it for $29.99.
I curse God.
Can't believe the Wraith and the fucking 70-foot drop are doing a better job than the boss fight did. But yeah.
Gravity kills.
Gravity
Notes for
always
future
wins.
encounters.
Incidentally, if you'd rolled one higher, you would have stabilized her.
Anti-Malgird.
Wolfgang. And Zarzul by account. The Wraith is there in the hole, but he's 10 foot down.
Okay. Wolfgang's going to ready in action, as it were, for when Wraith gets in range. That's about all I can do for there.
Okay. Mr.
And
Pop.
Zarzul's going to put.
Go on.
Hmm?
No, go on.
And Zarzul's going to try and put an arrow in the Wraith.
Yep.
Isn't he holding onto the rope?
Yes.
Oh, that's right, he is.
Okay,
There's a heavy dwarf on the end of it.
Okay, Zarzul's going to brace for the weight and try and pull him up.
Give me strength athletics.
Wait,
With
pull me up.
advantage.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Wraith is coming up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, never mind. Carry on.
Give me strength athletics with advantage. Because Castalia is helping out, although that might change in a moment.
You want an athletics check, do you?
If you've got proficiency, if not just strength.
No,
I mean, it'll be the same roll anyway. Nope, that's a strength save. See on your main statistics on the left, you can click those words for those checks. There we go, 18. You managed to haul Malgurn up a good deal. In fact, you managed to drag him up level with the Wraith.
Bring
As
it.
Malgurn's looking... And for a moment he was looking down just to see the impact that Siegfried made. And noticing that Rain is still on the ground unconscious. But then he realized he's getting further away. And then looks up. And then looks in front of him. And the Wraith is right there.
Well, shit.
Castalia, your turn is up.
Alright. Is the lockbox on the ground near the casket?
It is, yes.
Is it possible for me to give it a swift kick?
It's on the ground beside you. You'd have to lift it up and put it down.
Okay, so I guess I'm not moving that away from us.
I don't... Okay, I
Well,
was worried...
I'm helping this.
No, I was worried you were going to kick it down. That's what I was thinking.
No.
I would have gotten the Wraith, Malgurn, Siegfried, and...
I had to be unconscious. Yeah, that would have.
I mean, I managed to ask everyone this. Renimus, you do have a backup character, yeah?
No, I'm just seeking to put distance between where the party is currently having their wonderful circus and the lockbox.
Alright. Yeah, well, you managed to... give me an athletics, if you've got it.
I
not,
do
just-
not. I don't
then just
have a
strength.
lot of skill.
I mean, if you click it, it'll be the same thing anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, you managed to kick it a good... Let's see. Where the fuck is Castal? Oh, there we go. There we go, grab that token.
Yeah.
You managed to kick it to where Mr. Pufflesworth is there. We're just using him as a place-in, because he's currently occupied with the bunny.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, well, he's going to have a soon.
No, you just kick it and you smash Mr. Pufflesworth against the wall with it. But yeah, he's completely distracted by the bunny. It doesn't even matter if it's illusionary. He just keeps swiping out. He's too dumb. I'll say...
Well, that puts...
Yep, that puts some
Well,
distance.
that puts... Yeah, so now at least the Wraith will possibly go for it instead of hitting us. And I help Zazul to steady the lines so now hit the Wraith.
Okay.
Or be pulled up if need be.
Alright. Malgurn, a moment ago you were looking down at Siegfried and Castalia and a Wraith surging past you. Then he got above you. Now you're level. And he's right there while you're using both hands on the rope. Otherwise, you fall like Siegfried did on Siegfried.
I need both hands. I can't.
You could do one-handed. There might be a check involved.
Okay.
But you can
So,
still hit him with
seeing
one
as-
hand.
Yeah. Seeing as I'm probably not going to be able to reach for my long sword, I'm going to just grab the tosser off my belt and hit him.
Yeah, he's right beside you.
Yeah.
Pardon.
That is a hit. 11 bludgeoning as you smack against the evil.
I'm gonna smack against the evil again.
Another hit. Roll it. The Wraith is nearly non-existent right now. It is just dissipating fully between your hits. There's chunks of it missing that just aren't being filled in by this black smoke.
This is a problem, and I'm gonna action surge and hit it again.
Okay. That's another hit. Another solid damage. It still exists. But now I'm gonna say, give me a, give me an acrobatics check. Because you're swinging wild here while you're holding onto the rope with one hand. You're jostling a little bit. You managed to keep yourself in good trim. Luckily, the assistance of the party made that DC very low.
And I can't do anything else because
No, you can still swing if you want.
I'm out of swings.
No, you got one more.
I do.
Yeah, action surge gives you your full action, remember, so that gives you 2 attacks.
Oh yeah, I do get my. Yeah,
Unfortunately, you just clout the wall.
Okay. I always forget that action surge gives me both attacks.
Well, you get used to it. You'll be level 5 and 6 and all for a while now. It's now the Wraith's turn, however. And it didn't like being bashed around like that.
Oh boy.
But I can also feel... It's a flip a coin time. Yep. It's just going to reach for the dwarf. But it reaches past the dwarf. And reaches for what he's holding.
Oh.
And you watch as those billowy, smoky fingers coil around the rope and surge with hateful necrotic energy, aging the material. And it snaps. As it's doing this, as it's coiling onto the cords, it's just narrowing those focused red orbs right at you, Malgern. And then you're not in front of it anymore. Let's see, you were... yeah. Give me a dex save.
Pardon.
Let's see, so that'll be...
Oh, that's not good. that's not good at all.
Well,
That's not good at all.
Well, no, I'm not proficient, so it's the same thing.
Okay.
You take 23 points of damage. And Siegfried, you take 11. As Malgern plummets to the stone, but you're in between it. As he just smashes
Nice.
against your side. Could have been worse if you rolled a 1, it would have been rain.
I think you got a backup character, right?
The Wraith now surges up. It's now visible to all 3 of you. That means Wolfgang's attack would go off. Sadly, that is a miss, even with advantage. Damn. It's going to glance at the 3 of you hurriedly, then see its chest nearby. But it's going to reach down to the pup.
No.
That tried to bite it, just reacting instantly to it. And misses. But it still continues to sail through, as it just wants to get to its chest now that it can see it. That will provoke an attack of opportunity from all... well, whoever's not holding a rope. Even though there's no weight on it anymore. It's gotten much lighter, it's nice.
I'm
Jesus.
sadly holding the rope.
Roll 20 is acting weird today.
So it's
So
going for that box, isn't it?
yeah, so you all get an attack of opportunity.
And the box is by Pufflesworth, is it not?
It is Puffleworth's token right now.
Ah, okay. So it's not Pufflesworth himself.
Yeah. No, he's just running around with the bunny. So yeah, roll me an attack, Castelia. And
I'm holding the rope, but alright.
I mean, the rope is now
The
gone.
rope got light.
Yeah. Also, Zarzul, you do get an attack opportunity as well. It did exit your field.
I'm guessing that short sword, not bow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say you'd only have time to draw your short sword out. But you did have advantage. So yeah, you can take that damage. Let's see here. What about you? As the both of you just... One takes a swipe at the head, the other takes the lower body. You can assume who, just by height. And it just dissipates into darkness. There is just nothing left of whatever that wraith was. We're not quite out of initiative yet because... Rain, give me a death save.
Oh dear.
That's a success.
Oh,
Okay.
hey.
You're out of initiative now. Although Rain is still unconscious on the ground, there's a lot of rope missing. There's a
Somebody
lockbox.
does have a heal.
Yeah, your only healer is on the ground. And the other healer... Well, correction, there is another healer, but he's 70 foot up.
So you all figure out how to get him down here, because I sure as shit ain't getting up there.
There's also
He
a
said
point that you
that
want to
means
stabilize her
you're
before she bleeds out.
That too.
Yeah, I'm going to roll medicine again to try and make sure things are okay.
So,
Mainly checking if my legs are broken.
I mean, how much HP do you have?
Me? Oh, him. Okay.
You've got 5?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. One of your ankles was smashed by the elbow. It'll recover with a few healing spells, but you're gonna be...
From the person on the ground.
We'll say until that's healed, you've lost 5 feet of movement. You're at dwarf speed now.
Ha ha, you're slow.
Unless Malgir wants to give up his boots.
What boots? I'm not wearing any boots.
But yeah, give me a medicine roll. There we go. We'll see if this permanent injury stuff, or, proper injury stuff will work. I'll say if Malgurn's helping you to make up for the fact that he really hindered you. And you managed to get her breathing clear, get her in the right position. She's stabilized for now. She's unconscious and will be for an hour. Or until she's healed.
Well, I was about to say, or that guy up there can get down here.
Meanwhile, up 70 feet, we've got a devil, a dog, and a dragon.
And an owlbear.
Maybe.
Oh,
We should get Malgurn up first, so he can steady the rope, so then we can transport him down the casket. Or hole. Hilarity.
Yep. That's probably
Here's the
accurate.
question: how are y'all gonna get the rope up there?
I have a rope.
Oh, okay.
I actually have 50 feet of rope as well, so. Depending on
So,
whose rope we
you
used
could
the
have had
first
2
time.
people coming down. I'm just going to point that out.
Yeah, but it was more interesting this way.
It was. This did so much more damage than the boss fight.
Is there anywhere here we could tie the rope off on, so we don't have to hold on to it?
Best estimate from what you can see, would be the actual... No, come to think of it, there's not anything sitting outwards. There is a slight risk you could run the rope along the underside of the etchings on the casket itself. You know, it's a bit of lip. It might provide some stability. There is also the handiness that Zarzul is the second strongest member of the team.
But
Yeah.
he needs to go down the hole.
Not right
Yeah.
away.
If we get you up, you won't have to.
No, the thing is, we can haul Malgern up, and then I go down.
Yeah.
So we're going to lower the rope back over the side.
Yep.
The other lot of rope, the fresh rope that's not tattered or broken or aging to death, and hold on tight and help Malgern up.
All right. I'm gonna secure it and give 2 tugs.
Is there no words between the party right now?
I just want the fuck out of here.
As you stand on the imploded ankle of Siegfried.
It'll be fun. Siegfried's used to this.
Siegfried, you look back and you can see that there's this horrible impression of a dwarf in the dirt, and your leg is across it. Alright.
So we set to hauling Malgern up.
There's no pressure here, no checks needed. Like, he's just... I mean, you're not rushing, really. There's no need to. So yeah, you just haul him up. He clangs against the sides of the stone wall a few times, but, you know, he can take it.
Okay. And Zazzle will get lowered down.
Easy enough. In fact, effortlessly, and so. Wolfgang feels that he could just do it himself, but, I mean, he can't tell anyone this.
Yeah. Wolfgang probably could have used strength, actually. Yeah. But never mind. And
Well, no,
I'm going to
I just
heal
mean for carting down
cleric.
Zarzul, because he's pretty light.
Yep. I'm going to use a spell
Good.
on the cleric.
See, this is why I'm glad we're recording these sessions. Because I want to hear Scotch's reaction to everything that happens here.
Oh, this one's going down in the books. This is definitely going down.
I
A
mean,
big-
I just love it how the boss battle was cake, and then this happened.
The Wraith in the hole.
The damn hole.
Rain, you are alert
Gravity
again.
is-
Oh, goody. At that point, I'm good. Okay, oh yeah, that's 8. I better put that on my sheet.
No,
The
10.
eternal tale of the Raxis adventures in the party pit.
Oh boy.
So,
Party pit.
I might need to start adding titles to these as well.
oh, sorry, I just heard our Pufflesworth go off. So I should probably help Siegfried a little bit.
Nah.
I mean,
Oh.
Mulgurn didn't. He just grabbed onto the rope and left with Siegfried still on the ground.
They're gonna lower it down and get it. Healer's coming down. They got this. The other healer. I can't help.
I'll do that.
There we go, 16 HP to Barogue.
Any word on his ankle?
Yeah, his ankle's definitely feeling a lot better. I mean, it's still to the degree of a bad sprain, but, you know, he's tough enough and he's agile enough. He's still got the 25 feet of movement. A couple more days of this, he'll be fine.
If I throw another spell at him, will it fix it entirely?
Nah, you can't really throw anything that high level on him yet.
Okay.
Plus, we're experimenting with lingering injuries, but only because he brought it up.
Okay, so Siegfried and I are going to get hauled out along with Rain.
Yep,
No
it's easy
problems
enough.
there.
There's more than enough muscle.
But before I go up there, I'm gonna heal myself. Because I don't trust not to fall down the hole again. That was not helpful.
What are you talking about? That's 13 points.
Still not at half health. But okay, I'll be willing to go up now.
Oh, well, at the top, I'm going to investigate the lockbox, seeing it caused so many interesting problems.
I mean, there's also
Is
the
it
fact
locked?
that, I mean, there's also the fact that when you get up, you see 4 of the party.
Where's Mr. Pufflesworth?
I point to the illusion of a rabbit.
I call over, Mr. Pufflesworth!
Give me an animal handling.
Oh yeah, I might want to unminimize that.
Well, this helps buy me time for what's in that fucking chest.
Hey!
Holy
comes,
shit, she did
he
it.
pads over, looks at... He's looking through the group for a moment, and then recognizes the voice, and just pads right on over.
There's Mr. Pufflesworth. How's my puffy?
I mean, he's reacting well to all the attention. He still seems pissed off, though, because he couldn't kill the rabbit.
Aww. I give him a little rub down. I'm getting glared at.
There's a joke there somewhere, but
Alrighty. So, who's going to look in the chest?
I'm going to check it over and see if it's locked or any obvious mechanisms on it.
I mean, you almost died for it, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm fine.
Limp,
Oh, wait.
limp. That'll be an investigation. Seems pretty okay.
Okay.
I mean,
I should
you,
try and
you
open
gave it a shove to see if
Looks
the lid came off and it was still in place, so I guess it's locked.
At this point, I'll hobble over to the chest to see how they're getting on and notice that that's still locked, and then start to work on the lock.
Alright, that'll be a dex check with proficiency. So you can roll me acrobatics, for example.
No, I think it's something else.
Well, yeah, it's your thieves' tool, but it's still dex, still with proficiency, so it doesn't actually change it. Unless you had expertise.
Not yet.
Yeah. You look it over, it's... Unsurprisingly, it is pretty old, but looks simple enough. You sort out for your tools, you take a moment just pressing you against the lock. Just thinking about how that massive lump of dwarf landed on you. And how prior you also landed on the floor at speed. A few little clicks and the lock is undone.
Okay, I gently open the lid, even though it hasn't had a gentle time recently.
Inside it is stuffed full. First off, there is a fancy set of leather armor.
Hey.
Beneath that,
Mr. Pufflesworth, don't eat my mic.
beneath that is a beautifully resplendent short sword. The handle itself has 3 diamonds in it, but they're cracked horribly. But the rest of it is still very gold, very beautifully etched. Very clean shape to it. Beside that is a small jar. Let's see, it's a small glass jar. Inside you can see that there's a sort of a thick mixture that shuffles slightly when you turn it around in your palm. There is also 400 silver pieces. Six palm-sized rubies, each worth about 150 gold each. And also, strangely enough, a belt with pouches on it, which looks very tattered and worn out.
Totally worth it.
There's about 7 pouches altogether. The belt itself looks like it's been scratched heavily, and the belt buckle seems to have been just mauled by some ravenous beast. It's still there, but it seems like a mangled bit of metal. And there you go.
How much were those rubies worth each?
They were worth
150.
150 gold apiece.
That's worth almost dying for.
Is it though?
How much was your sacrifice worth?
Yeah, I was like,
I was really hoping the box would be empty.
I was expecting a dwarven laundry.
4
Yeah,
weeks
oh,
ago,
That would have been perfect.
4 weeks ago,
find
those
the
were
dwarves.
those were among the options I was thinking of.
just
It could have been empty.
Personal effects of that dwarf skeleton should have been in there.
It
Like
could have been empty.
some tattered traveling clothes, rusty axe.
It would have had a book in it.
Yeah.
Those were two of the options. It would have had a single book in it. Or
Your
nothing.
Mom, Volume 2.
Poor kitten.
Probably some dwarf and smut book that he wanted to keep it in.
You know what, actually, I'll put the book in. You also acquire a large 600-page tome. Leather-bound. The cover is written in halfling.
Oh.
Do any of us read Halfling?
Nope.
I think that's the only thing I don't
You
speak.
all ganged up on Dwarvish.
I also speak Abyssal.
Yeah, that'll come in handy.
Why do I have drunk on my language list?
You put that in! I was wondering about that too.
Wait, what do you have?
Drunk.
Drank?
Drunk.
As in, he speaks the language of the inebriated.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. Do you look for the book?
Why not?
Oh, we'll just flick through it, see if there's anything interesting.
As you flick through it, it is all written in halfling, and there's so many pages just filled with words, barely any spaces. Now and again, though, you come upon an image of a potato. There's also a few artistic impressions of mashed potato. A few of baked. And you just keep on going. There's about 12 pictures all in all throughout these 600 pages, and they're all potato-based.
A cookbook?
Well,
There'd have to be more cookbook.
while they're looking through this potato book, I'm going to be investigating the leather armor.
Hmm. Roll me an Arcana. Because I assume you're trying to work out if this is magical or not.
Yep.
As you look through it, it's definitely finer quality than the stuff you've got on you right now. Despite its age, it looks to be completely unmarked by time. And you've seen a lot of rot and decay right now, so you can compare it easily. As you feel through it, the material feels very... I mean, it's still leather. But there's something about it that just feels slightly strange.
Well, I could go with the detect magic again.
You could.
I think that's what I'll do. I'm going to start prepping for that so I can also check the sword over.
Okay. Anything else in the interim for you guys? Or are you just going to wait patiently?
No. I'm going to wait patiently and
Yeah.
see about seeing if I can find anything to splint my ankle or at least relieve some of the pain.
I mean, there's some bones handy.
Not going to work.
I have this dagger.
Just stick it in to lodge the bones in place, of course.
Well,
It's like a very
in
large
that
steel
case-
pin.
Well, we've got some time. I'm going to go over to that other coffin that we almost got trapped with the spikes coming up to see if I can't see about opening that and seeing if there's anything interesting inside.
I lift my finger and then point to the hole everyone just climbed out. What happened last time we sent someone in by themselves?
Yeah, well, I ain't going over that far. Then again, if Rain's got the detect magic on, I mean, she can see if there's anything interesting inside anyway.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so the spell goes up, and yeah, in your hands, the leather armor is indeed magical. And the school is transmutation.
Hmm.
The sword, too, also magical, and there's enchantment of divination through it.
That's interesting. I don't know what
Pouch?
it does, but it's interesting.
The glass jar with mixture in it, it is a school of necromancy.
Hmm.
The book is not magical.
Well, we figured that out.
And yeah, as you're looking around, and assume you look at the big dwarven coffin, there is nothing. No response.
There's nothing down there. We're good.
The belt with the pouch?
Oh, the bell of pouches? I
Yeah,
forgot about
oh.
that, actually. Yes, that is also magical. Hmm.
In that case, I'm going to be investigating that a little bit.
Unsure of its school of magic, to be honest. It might just not have one. Let's see here.
Just generic magic.
Yeah, because some items don't actually list it. But it's
I'm
definitely magical.
Going to.
Then I'm going to investigate it and see if I can figure out what it actually does.
Well, the first thing you do is you pop open some of the pouches and you find there's nothing sitting inside. Then you also notice that you can't see the bottom of it.
Oh! I think we have something nice here.
I show Rain the 4 rings I got off the first set of zombie hands. The silver ring, the wooden ring, the gold ring, and the platinum ring. Any of them magical?
None of them are magical.
All right,
Okay.
yeah. So that's good for selling. So this belt's probably some kind of a bag of holding.
I pass her an arrow to try to see if she can put that in it, seeing they'll be usually too large to put in a pouch.
Let's give it a go. So I'll try to shove it in there.
As you just cavalier shove it down, yeah, it just keeps going and then slips out of your grasp.
Huh. Then I try to take it back out again.
As you start pulling the arrow, yeah, it fits into your... It seems to just slide into your grasp. And you start pulling most of the way, and then as almost the head's almost out, you feel resistance. You feel something trying to pull it back in. But it gives up quickly, and you now have the arrow in your hand.
Huh. I don't know if that's a bad thing or a good thing. I haven't used one of these before, so I'm not sure if feeling some resistance is normal or not.
Interesting. Yes.
Does anybody else have used these before?
None of you have used this before.
Anyone who might know would be Cornelius.
Well, then let's not put anything important in there until we run this by the wizard.
Yeah. Losing an arrow is one thing. Losing possibly hundreds of gold's worth of stuff, that's another.
Mm-hmm.
So, you found a good haul. You found a treasure trove. You almost died for it.
Yeah,
We've still got some undead somewhere around here that we haven't killed yet.
Well, if I recall, aren't there the hands in the top hall that probably Are those things that tried to pull Siegfried into the coffin?
Yeah.
We should probably
Uh,
do something about those guys.
We dealt with one set of hands, but there's another set to deal with.
I'm missing a dwarf in this party. Where's he gone?
I haven't really moved me since you moved me last, so that's.
Oh, there we go.
interesting.
Okay. Yeah, just to move you over quickly. There we go. The hands are still there.
Okay, I fire an arrow at a hand.
All right.
Seems like a wood.
Roll your damage. As that hand is just destroyed. It's pinned to the wall, the ring's just hanging there.
Huh.
The other hand...
Does it look like they were moving at all because of it?
It just seems like you punctured a severed hand. The one beside it has not moved at all.
Hey, Siegfried, go grab it. Nothing?
I do.
You walk up to it then?
I walk up to it and stab the hand.
Before you do, it reaches out. Give me a dex save. There's only one of the hands, but the rest of the other chain inside also grab hold. Oh, dex save, let's see. We would have added 3 more points on. Yeah, okay. They do grab for you. They catch at your armor, but then you just manage to pull yourself free. And yeah, you can see inside, again, the same chains of hands. Now missing one. And you manage to just... In a fit of rage, you just manage to stab several of them. You just reverse grip the sword and start poking into the coffin. There's a couple left, but they're easily sorted.
Oh, I guess we grab these rings as well.
These rings are very fancy. Much more sort of feminine in a way. There's a lot more. There's some small, delicate chains hanging between 2 of them. So there's a set of paired silver rings. And they have small chains between them. No stones. At your best guess, probably about 35 gold a piece. 35 gold as a set.
So it's just silver rings?
No, I'm going for the rest. I'm just thinking of materials. There's actually a quite nice copper ring. It's been shined nicely. With a very thick square emerald in it. You'd probably think for all that together, maybe about 20 gold. Although the stone itself looks like it'd be worth 15 or 19 by itself. There's also 2 gold wedding rings. Well, gold covered. And you can tell they're wedding rings because of the inscriptions on them. You can see some initials etched in. And a small little heart shape. On the other hand, there is a fat ruby on a bronze thumb ring. It's actually kind of strange to see an expensive stone and then a cheap ring. Other hand, what looked really shiny and silver is actually just a tin ring. Probably worth a copper or 2 just for the crafting. Oh, and the thumb ring would be worth in the ballpark of about 22 gold. There's an identical wooden ring, strangely enough, to the one you got previously. And then there is one etched in with very fine, like... It is silver, but it's etched in with leafing details. Sort of like you'd see on a... What would you call it, really? Fleur-de-lis, kind of stuff like that there. But you'd figure it's a bit plain but intricate at the same time. Maybe worth about 10 gold.
Okay. If Rain's still got a magic detect running, are any of those magical?
The silver one is the one that's just etched in with leafy spots. Let's see here.
Okay.
Now to check if this would be a school. So hang on a second while I fish up PHP. So it is. It'd be transmutation.
Okay. Well, let's just head outside. This is an ugly place. Let us leave here.
This is a silly place.
As you all step up the sloped, crumbled bit of masonry, we should probably cut it there.
Yeah, it's a pretty good stopping
It's been
point.
3 hours. I figure some of you actually want to get to bed by now. And think about what you just did.
I fell on a road.
You did. Well, you didn't fall on the floor. You fell on Siegfried, who fell on the floor.
He broke my fall. Such a buddy. I crashed their windows, crashed their party members. This is a great adventure.
That was a hell of a time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yes, we'll be back with another session of this next week. All thing considering, as long as none of the players ditch. So, yeah.
Cornelius.
And this gets uploaded to my YouTube as well, so we can all enjoy these wonderful moments.
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys make
Maybe
such good
required viewing
decisions.
for Cornelius. Oh, definitely. That's
He's gonna regret missing this one.
this is, I mean, there's rational decisions, and then there's what my character would.
I love
It's
this.
like-
Well, you want to know what's going to be worse? We're going to probably give that wooden wand that we found to Droop.
Of course. See, if we
Fun
had
to
Droop,
animate
we could have lowered him down with some healing potion. Droop, take these potions, shove them in mouths. Lowers Droop down hole.
And you've got quite the hall to sort through and decide on, too.
Yeah, that leather armor is nice.
Well, it's
We're
magical
not actually
leather armor.
sure what it does.
Yeah, you don't know what any of this shit does. None of you have identify.
All I know is I don't want it.
Maybe in town you could find someone. I mean, you do know there are merchants. As refugees in the town centre.
Who knows? Cornelius might actually have identify.
You might.
Somehow I got a sneaking suspicion we might be not there.
But we'll get to all of that next week, as I click the button to say goodbye stream.